The Trojans are waiting to kick off. The Notre Dame student body, virtually the entirety of the 81,000 up and standing now for this opening kickoff of the 81st meeting of the Trojans and the Irish. Southern California, winner of last 7 meetings. Notre Dame leads the overall series by 9 victories. This, as some say, would be Charlie Weiss's signature victory so far, if he can pull it off. But in the local papers, the Trojans are a double-digit favorite.
They are, because they've got that kind of talent. Going down on the field, looking at them, Don, an imposing-looking football team, just big in every single position. And with these returners that are back there, you sort of pick your poison, because C.J. Gable is averaging 23 yards a kick. Curtis McNeil only has 1 return, but 16 yards. But they can all light it up.
NBC in an extended opening, so both teams are just standing on the field waiting for television to come out of commercial. And for the kickoff, and now Tosh has the ball teed off. It blows off the holder. So that gives you some indication it's at least a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. Now Gable is back for the Trojans of Southern California, along with Curtis McNeil.
And with that wind, you're thinking Nick Tosh, a good opportunity to kick it into the end zone, something he hasn't done yet.
And actually, they're going to have David Ruffer kick it off. There was a walk-on last year. David Ruffer will kick off for Notre Dame. He hits the ball and hits it very well. Fielded at the 6-yard line on the far side. C.J. Gable starts ahead. He's hit hard to the 24. Spins to the 25. David Posluszny comes down and makes the tackle, along with Mike Anello.
Well, I mean, physicality is going to be very, very important. You can set the tone being physical on special teams.
Now the Trojans go on offense first and 10, and they have their freshman quarterback, Matt Barkley, who many rated as the high school player of the year a season ago in Southern California. They go with a power set, 1 running back. They deploy 3 receivers in a tight formation left. Now they spread it out. First and 10. Barkley to throw on first down. Throws an out pattern. It's broken up at the 32-yard line, and a penalty marker is thrown in. Gary Gray is called for getting there early. It's an incomplete pass. The throw was to Ronald Johnson.
Pass interference on the defense, number 4. The ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Gary Gray actually with nice coverage. Ronald Johnson is the speedster of the group with real tight coverage on the part of Gary Gray.
So on the penalty, the ball is advanced out to the 33-yard line of Southern California. First and 10. Barkley under center. Big crowd noise. Opening drive of the game. Barkley hands off. Joe McKnight. No gain. Lost 2 yards. The Irish shot the gap. Darius Fleming, who didn't play in the last game because of a leg muscle pull, Notre Dame's best pass rusher, shot the gap and knocked down Fleming, who averages over 7 yards a carry for a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, Darius Fleming, the leading tackler for loss on the team, and missed the game last week. A great job of just shooting the gap and creating penetration.
Sun is out right now. Wind is blowing. Temperature in the 40s. Barkley under center with a long count. Here's the snap. He hands off again. Trojans look to run it. They come wide, and there's a hard hit made at the 35-yard line after a gain of about 4 or 5. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Trojans. Manti Te'o. And Joe McKnight.
Right, and anytime he hits, Don, you can hear it. I mean, he lowers that pad level. He sticks that helmet in their chest, and it's a nice pop.
Trojans working into this wind in the first quarter on this opening drive. Capron Lewis Moore, Ethan Johnson, Ian Williams, and John Ryan across the defensive front. Now Kerry Neal comes in to rush the passer. Barkley goes into a shotgun set. It's 3rd and 7, almost 8. Here's the snap. Barkley drops. Here's a penalty marker. A throw downfield. Incomplete, not close to a connection, but a penalty marker was thrown at the line of scrimmage.
That ball wasn't close, Don.
No, he was having problems throwing early in the game into the wind in the warm-ups. Here's the call.
Dead ball. Ball start. Number 61 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Chris O'Dowd, All-American candidate center for the Trojans, called for a false start. So that was actually a Trojans beneficiaries because they failed to hit on the pass where they would have been fourth down and long. Charles Brown and Tyron Smith are the Trojan tackles. Jeff Byers and Nick Howell the guards. O'Dowd is the center. Right end is Anthony McCoy. They use an array of wide receivers. Damian Williams, David Osbury, Ronald Johnson is back after injury. Joe McKnight's the go-to runner again. The quarterback Barkley's in the shotgun. Here's an all-out blitz at Barkley. He stands in. He's going to get hit. He does get the ball away and isn't close. Barkley overthrows the ball and he is slammed as he released the ball. Sergio Brown comes on a safety blitz for Notre Dame and they got to him. Barkley saw it coming, so Barkley's two throws, both way off target.
Yeah, way off target. And that one was because Sergio Brown was breathing down his neck. Sergio Brown, an excellent job of timing the blitz so he could be at full speed when the ball was snapped. No way to block him.
Now the USC punter Jacob Harfman is on the field. Punt returner for Notre Dame, Golden Tate. It is dangerous work for the Irish and Tate. Fielding a punt is being kicked into a swirling wind. A big rush. Well hit by Harfman. Tate comes up, fields the ball, and he returns it. Crosses the 35, and he goes down. Now the good special teams play by Southern California is coming down to make the play. Was Garnett Green, a 36-yard punt and virtually no return. Now, with 13:04 to play in the first quarter, the score is Notre Dame nothing, Southern California nothing, and this for ISP Sports. I don't know what that was all about, Alan. There's still a timeout on the field as Notre Dame takes over possession of the ball for the first time in a scoreless first quarter. Irish will start from the 35 after a Trojan punt. But Jimmy Clausen was up at the line of scrimmage shaking hands and talking to Taylor Mays.
Yeah, well, he lives out in Southern California, knows a lot of those guys, hangs out with them in the off-season. So it's friendly competition. They can be friends, but they can also do battle against one another. And I'm sure Taylor Mays is saying, I'm going to come get you today.
He's a very good player, Taylor Mays, the best safety in the country. Tackles for Notre Dame are Paul Duncan and Sam Young. Guards Chris Stewart and Trevor Robinson. Eric Olson is down over the ball to center. Kyle Rudolph is the tight end. Notre Dame goes with Rudolph flex to the right. Wide receivers to either side, and Clausen will start in a shotgun as Golden Tate goes in motion. Trojans and with a pass rush. Notre Dame does a good job. Here's a screen pass. It goes to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph. He's across the 40, head down, both arms on the ball, and he's ahead for a gain of about 7 yards, maybe 8. 7 with us spotted. Jarrell Casey, defensive lineman, makes the stop on the play. Defensive line for USC includes Wes Horton, Armand Armstead, Jarrell Casey, and Everson Griffin. Linebackers Michael Morgan, Chris Gallipo, and Malcolm Smith. Seniors Josh Pinkard and Kevin Thomas are at the corners. The safeties are Will Harris and Taylor Mays.
Important play call right there. Screen on first down. You know you're going to get a lot of pressure. That slows the defensive lineman down.
Now John Goodman is in the game. Here is a handoff, and running hard with the ball is the direct snap going to Goodman, a high school quarterback, for a first down. So John Goodman, he might be doing a lot more than this today. A terrific quarterback, Bishop Dwenger High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Runs for 13 yards on a direct snap. Goodman has an arm, and Jimmy Clausen and Dane Christ, the two Notre Dame quarterbacks, have excellent arms. Neither of them are close to the arm strength of John Goodman. So now Notre Dame gets the 13-yard run from Goodman, and it's first down and 10. Shotgun snap, handoff, and here is Golden Tate coming on a counter, and he's ahead for a gain of about 3 yards to the Trojan 45-yard line.
They actually had that set up, Don, as an option run. You know, they got both Golden Tate and Armando Allen in the backfield. They make the underneath handoff to Golden Tate, and they have the option. He has the option to pitch it to Armando Allen.
That brings up a second down and a long 7 for Notre Dame of the Trojan 45. First quarter, no score. Notre Dame's first possession after stopping the Trojans. Clausen's in the shotgun, standing at midfield. Bright sunny day now, that'll change. Here is Clausen, takes a look, gets time, and does a great job throwing the ball at the feet of a receiver who was covered for an incomplete pass, eating the ball as the rush was there and nobody was open. Good coverage by USC. And now third down arises for Notre Dame at the 45-yard line of Southern California. The Irish with the ball is spotted, need almost 8.
Third down this year. Notre Dame actually pretty good, 40% conversion percentage. USC allowing people to convert 29% of the time.
Notre Dame spreads the field. Clausen goes in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Notre Dame moving left to right. Here on a natural grass field at Notre Dame Stadium. Shotgun snap to Clausen. Rush comes. Clausen looks. And he gets away for the moment. Throws the ball downfield. It's almost completed as incomplete. Clausen doing a great job as he was hit and was being thrown back. He released the ball to Armando Allen, who had it on his hand. A desperation throw by Clausen. Good pass rush by the Trojans. Chris Gallipo, the middle backer, a 255-pound sophomore linebacker, got a hand on Clausen, threw him off balance, and now Notre Dame will have to punt. No score.
You know, and that's just the pressure that USC can bring. It's fierce, and you know your time is limited. Used to be 1.8 seconds. I think it's 1.5 you have to make a decision.
Yeah, the time is going down as the game gets faster. Here is the freshman punter, Ben Turk, hitting it off the side of his foot, but it takes a big Notre Dame bounce. And what a special teams tackle by Notre Dame. Stephen Filer, a sophomore linebacker from Chicago. A 36-yard punt, and Filer annihilates the punt returner. And USC will start from their 12-yard line. Damian Williams taken down as soon as he got the ball. The score, 0-0 in the first quarter. Now this from Sylvania. USC basking in the sunlight here at Notre Dame Stadium, but soon that sun will be going down. It's going to get cold here. Temperature in the 40s right now. Trojans getting their second possession after the Notre Dame punt. And a terrific special teams tackle by the Irish at the 12-yard line. Filer making the stop of Damian Williams. So the Trojans go the long field now in the scoreless first quarter, starting from their 12. In garnet helmets and white jerseys, garnet numbers, gold pants. The Trojans moving right to left. Barkley, their freshman quarterback, under center. Brings it back in motion. Here is a handoff. Trojans go to the run. And they get it out to the 20-yard line. A good run by Joe McKnight, the junior from River Ridge, Louisiana. Notre Dame's leading tackler, Kyle McCarthy, makes his 50th tackle of the season.
Good push right there by the offensive line of USC. Joe McKnight is number 25 in the country, averaging 94 yards per game. And, I mean, he is a slippery guy. He's a speedster, and it's an emergency anytime he gets the ball in his hands.
Now they have McKnight aligned in an I set behind the blocking back, Stanley Havili. Second down and 1 for the Trojans. No score at their 20. Handoff. Cut back. Knight is hit hard. Joe McKnight taken down by linebacker Brian Smith. Linebackers for Notre Dame, Darius Fleming, Manti Te'o, and Brian Smith. Darren Walls and Gary Gray are at the corners. Harrison Smith and Kyle McCarthy, the safeties. We go down to Jeff Jeffers.
Yeah, Notre Dame's first possession, they were in Wildcat. They were in Wildcat option and a tight end screen. We'll see if USC gets that creative on this possession. They're now out to the 23-yard line. Plenty of doses of Joe McKnight coming up.
First down and 10 for Southern California. First quarter, no score from the Trojans 23. Barkley drops, takes a look. Long ball downfield. Receiver comes down with a phenomenal catch. Anthony McCoy at the 40-yard line of Notre Dame. The men of Troy wearing those gloves you were talking about, Alan. You can't drop a ball with them, I don't think.
No,
they got the warm-ups.
Yeah, they got extra stickum on it. And if they're the winter gloves, you know, that play good for 35 yards. If they're the winter gloves, they keep your hands warm. As long as those extremities are warm, your body's going to be warm. But that was a great athletic catch by Anthony McCoy.
Tremendous.
Who went and climbed the ladder to go get that football.
All the Trojans on this day that's going to get colder coming out in the skill position players wearing gloves, except the quarterback Barkley. He's under center from the Notre Dame 42, no score. First down. Barkley's going to throw again. Gets some time running out. Lobs the ball downfield. And it might be caught. It is at the 20-yard line. Diving at the ball was Damian Williams, who got behind the cornerback Gray in the front of the safety McCarthy. So the Trojans hit consecutive plays, throwing the ball. That was for 22 yards, a diving catch.
Yeah, Trojans have not been stretching the field, so I think Gary Gray tried to jump the underneath route, which created the hole or the window for Barkley to throw the ball into.
So in the scoreless first quarter, 8:58 to play and the clock running, the Trojans mounting the first challenge of the game. From the Notre Dame 20, first down. Barkley dropping. Here comes a blitz. Fires a fastball. Touchdown, Southern California. Off the right flank, Damian Williams gets a step on the corner, and Barkley puts a fastball right on his numbers. The Trojans go 88 yards in 5 plays and take a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, did most of it, Don, with the pass where you think they'd be using the run with Joe McKnight, but Barkley looking real good on that drive. Receivers doing an excellent job of running very crisp routes, and a great move that time by Damian Williams to get open.
He is projected, Damian Williams, to be, if he comes out this year, probably a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. And now the extra point is hit up and good by Southern California. With 8:47 to play in the first quarter, the score is USC 7, Notre Dame nothing. Will return after this timeout on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. The Trojans make it happen fast on their second possession. 88 yards in 5 plays, payoff in, 20-yard throw. Matt Barkley to the All-American candidate receiver Damian Williams, his 25th catch of the year, his second touchdown catch of this season.
Yeah, Damian Williams made an excellent move. Gary Gray in coverage, he faked like he was going to the corner and then went back towards the goalpost, turning Gary Gray around, and that created a nice opportunity for him to give his numbers to the quarterback, easy target. And, you know, that was a quick strike for USC. Of the 24 scoring drives that USC has had this year, 16 have been in 3 minutes or less.
That was a terrific throw by Barkley. Also now Notre Dame has to see if they can answer. 7-0 Trojans. They kick off right to left. A high spinning kick into the wind. Coming up on it is Barry Gallup Jr., and he is stunned as he gets across the 25. Gallup gets to the 27-yard line as the lead tackler on the play was Ross Cumming for Southern California. 15-yard return. And now the Irish, working with the wind at their back, albeit a gusting wind, will go left to right. The Irish in gold helmets and dark blue jerseys, white numerals, gold pants. Jimmy Clausen, their quarterback, #1 in the country, coming into this game in pass efficiency rating. 68% completions, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Robert Hughes in the backfield now. Clausen is under center from his 21. Here's the snap. Robert Hughes takes it at the Trojans, who give up only 2 yards of rush, and they shut him down for no gain. 295-pound Jarrell Casey makes the stop.
I mean, the offensive line of Notre Dame has their hands full today with this defensive line. Like you said, Don, only allowing 2 yards per carry. Number 5 in the country against the rush. Number 6 total defense. It looks like Notre Dame's going to have to go to the air.
Well, they might on this down. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Irish. SC 7-0 first quarter. Snap. Clausen hands up. They go to the run. And running hard and for yardage out to the 33-yard line is Robert Hughes. Trojans come gang tackling. Very nearly a late hit. Robert Hughes, whose averages 5.3 yards a carry, gains 7. And they now set up a 3rd down and 3 for Notre Dame at their 32-yard line.
Well, better movement that time by the offensive line of Notre Dame. You know, got some nice movement along the line. Robert Hughes, nice and patient with his read, and then he's a load going out there, you know, with his 234 pounds.
He's a big back, junior from Chicago. Now Clausen on 3rd down goes in the shotgun. Wide receivers to either side. 2 backs next to him, looking to pick up blitzes. Trojans come with a 3-man rush. Throw and a catch. And the ball is out to the 38-yard line. Looks like it's a 1st down for Notre Dame. Robbie Paris coming off the flank. The senior from Cleveland, Ohio, turns back at the ball. A good throw and a nice catch by Paris, and the Irish get a 1st down.
Yeah, Robbie has become a clutch receiver. Not all the speed in the world, but a big target at 6'3", 205 pounds. Did a good job of setting his route down beyond the sticks.
Now Notre Dame on a 1st down. Clausen gets under center, now shifts into an open backfield in the shotgun set. 5 wide receivers on the field. Here come the Trojans rushing. A long ball is thrown to the near sideline and overthrown as the Trojans were getting pressure. Robert Hughes who has maybe the best hands, or certainly a pair of the very good hands on this Notre Dame team. Charlie Weiss has said he has the best hands on the team, this 234-pound running back from Hubbard High School in Chicago. But it wasn't close to him, and that brings up 2nd and 10 for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame was anticipating a first down blitz with an empty backfield, and USC peeled back, so Hughes was covered.
2nd and 10 Notre Dame. 7-0 first quarter Southern California. Here's Clausen, shotgun snap. Clausen steps up, looking for someplace to go. Throws the ball up, and again has to throw it away to the near sideline at the 42-yard line of Notre Dame in front of the Irish bench, as the Trojans were putting pressure on. So that brings up 3rd down and 10 now for Notre Dame. And USC, Allen, doing a lot of 3-man rush and 8 men protecting, or 8 men defending the pass.
And you know what's interesting is they don't have to send 5 or more to get pressure. The ones they send do a good job. You know, one thing that was interesting there, Don, Golden Tate, when he went in motion, nobody was on him at the line of scrimmage. Hope the guys upstairs communicate that to Jimmy.
Now Clausen again sets in the shotgun. 3rd down and 10. First quarter, 7-0 Southern California. Here's the snap. Clausen looks, and he's going to be sacked to the 29-yard line. The 22nd sack of the year. Everson Griffin, who was the #1 defensive lineman in the country when he went to Southern California 3 years ago, makes the stop. So the Irish are stopped now, and they have to punt it back to USC. And a key there, Allen, is going to be, can Notre Dame pressure Barkley, the Southern California quarterback? On the Trojans' first possession, when they did pressure him, he wasn't close to his receivers. When he got time, he took him right down the field for a score. Here's the snap. Trojans going for a block. Big punt. Hit down by Turk. Backpedaling and there catching the ball is Damian Williams all the way back at the Trojan 20-yard line to our right. And with 6:03 left to play, the ball changes hands. A 48-yard punt by the freshman punter for Notre Dame, Ben Turk, and no return. 7-0 Southern California over Notre Dame. Will return after this message from Guardian. Don Criqui with Alan Pinkett, Jeff Jeffers, Andy Jones, and our ISP Sports Studios as Notre Dame was hit by a long drive by the USC Trojans on their second possession, going 88 yards on 5 plays, hitting big passes. Notre Dame has to get to the freshman quarterback Barkley. But Trojans picked up the blitzes on the last possession and went down and scored the ball for the first time today. 6:03 to play first quarter.
It's a scary proposition, Don, trying to get that pressure on him, because all they got to do is drop a little screen pass off to Joe McKnight, and he'll take it to the house. But you have to mix just good base play with some surprises in there.
Southern California now comes out with 3 wide receivers deployed to the right, to the far side. Barkley, the 6'2", 230-pound freshman quarterback, is standing behind his center, waiting for television to come out of the commercial. Alan Bradford, the 235-pound back, is behind him. 1st and 10 Trojans. They lead 7-0. Barkley drops, takes a look, gets some time. Now he's running out of it. Barkley throws. The ball is tipped and almost intercepted, incomplete at the Trojan 45-yard line. Harrison Smith goes high to tip the ball away from Ronald Johnson, and Smith almost came down with it with a one-handed interception. Terrific play. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at their 22.
Tried to run the out and up that time. Harrison Smith saw it, bumped Ronald Johnson out of bounds. The official actually threw his hat down, because if they had completed it, it wouldn't have been, I don't think, completed, because it came from out of bounds to inbounds, but Harrison Smith knocked it down.
Now the Trojans go with a power set. Double tight ends. Also wide receivers to either side. 1 running back. Barkley under center. Pitch back to the far side. Bradford runs. He gets to about the 25. Got 2 or 3. Good tackle. Kyle McCarthy, the linchpin of Notre Dame's defense, makes his 51st tackle of this season to lead the Irish. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down for Southern California at the Trojans 25, USC 7-0 first quarter.
Brian Smith did a good job of getting in the backfield, redirecting Bradford so the flow of the defense could get him and limit that carry.
Loud noise picks up now. Notre Dame student body up and making big noise. Trojans and Garnett in white and gold, white jerseys, moving right to left. Here's the snap. Barkley stands in. Here comes the rush. He eludes it for the moment, waving a guy downfield, and Barkley, man, he's hit hard out of bounds. A big hit by Monty Teo. And the freshman linebacker put what could have been a knockout shot. Was a clean hit. Barkley was inbounds, and he took the pulverizing hit. Well short of the first down. He had nowhere to go. Good coverage by the Irish. Trojans have the punt. They lead 7-0.
Manti hit you like you stole his lunch money, Don. You know, I mean, he came over there and walloped you. He might be knocked out. And it was a legal hit. He came off his feet and launched into him.
Barkley had a shoulder problem earlier this year. He didn't play in the Washington game, the game they lost. He does walk off the field. Here's the punt now. Big rush by Notre Dame. A punt into the wind. It's Wynn holds it up. Notre Dame's Golden Tate Fair catches the ball at about the Notre Dame 44-yard line. So with 4:49 to play in the first quarter, the score is the Trojans 7, the Irish nothing. A 28-yard punt by USC into the wind, and Notre Dame goes on offense 1st and 10.
Good field position to start for Notre Dame, especially with that wind. You know, you're not too far away from midfield. And maybe a momentum-shifting series by the defense that the offense can capitalize on now.
Robert Hughes is the lone back now as Notre Dame goes left to right from their 44. Clausen drops to throw. Notre Dame picks up a blitz. Here's a completion to Tate on the near sideline. Powers his way across field and gets ahead for a gain of almost 9 yards. Taylor Mays hits him. But Clausen with a quick timing pattern. Out of the shotgun, one step, and he drilled the ball near side to the right side. And then Golden Tate got about 6 yards after the short catch, and it's a 2nd down and 1 for Notre Dame.
Well, that's the adjustment, Don. You can't do the 5- and 7-step drops. It's 1 step or 3 step. Ball has to come out. That's how you negate the rush.
Right now they're looking to mark the ball. Apparently it's going to mark it about the 46-yard line of Southern California. There's a timeout on the field as they bring out the yard markers now to measure, apparently. Terrific play after the catch by Golden Tate, who took on tacklers, including the 235-pound All-American safety Taylor Mays, and drove him back.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Tate just continues to impress, Don, with everything.
1st down, Notre Dame. So they marked the ball, then said, let's bring out the markers. Looked like the original mark was a yard short, but he got there. So the Irish have it 1st and 10 at the USC 46-yard line. Irish in blue and gold, moving left to right at Notre Dame Stadium. Temperature starting to drop into the mid-40s now. It'll get colder. Wind is blowing, and the sunny day is about gone now as the cloud cover starts to move in. USC 7-0 on a touchdown pass. Clausen hands off. Straight ahead run, and it's a good one. As driving ahead down to the 41-yard line is Robert Hughes. A draw play straight at the Trojan defense, which gives up only 2 yards of a rush so far this season. That was good for a good 5 yards, or a little over maybe. They'll call it 2nd and 5. Shane Horton makes the stop.
You know, it's actually set it up with the pass action. Makes the linebacker take a step back, and then the offensive lineman can get a full head of steam to go block.
Notre Dame moving left to right. Here in the first quarter, late in it, 3:56 to play in the first quarter. Clausen hands up. Notre Dame runs at USC again and bangs the ball straight ahead. On a 2nd and 5, the Irish get about 4. They go right back to the power back, Robert Hughes, the junior, who comes in averaging 5.3 a carry. He played great as a freshman, kind of disappeared as a sophomore, and all of a sudden, he's been rejuvenated as he gets ahead for a 4-yard gain, 3rd and 1.
You know, you talked about, or Charlie talked about, negating the team's speed for USC. One way you do that is with power football. That is, shove it right down their throat.
Well, Alan, Notre Dame sends in James Aldridge, who hasn't played since the opening game when he bruised his shoulder. He's the lead back. See if they run it right at Southern California. Trojans bring their linebackers up. First back through is Robert Hughes. Linesmen come in. It looks like he might have the first down. He needed to get to the 36. It appears that he did get there. We'll see. Our spot is made. They might have to measure. They do rule it a first down. James Aldridge, so the up back, got the quick handoff, quick hitter, and the Irish drive on, trailing 7-0 with 2:55 to play in the first quarter.
Good confidence builder for that offensive line going up against this super defense, only allowing 2 yards carry to get a first down by rushing the football.
But Notre Dame, led by center Eric Olson, is starting to move those big USC defensive linemen back on power run plays. First down. Clausen looks, gets time, throws a fastball downfield. Incomplete along the near sideline. Notre Dame looking for an interference call on Golden Tate. Official says no. It was incomplete at the 15-yard line of Southern California along the right side, the near side. Kevin Thomas was defending. It's second down and 10 for Notre Dame. At the 36-yard line of USC, Trojans lead 7-0.
Good coverage by Kevin Thomas that time. I think Jimmy Clausen trying to throw it to the back shoulder of Golden Tate, giving him a chance to go up and make a play. But Kevin Thomas, a super athletic move to get back there and get a hand on the ball.
Now, let's see what's going to happen here. John Goodman, who can really throw the ball, a wide receiver. They have Clausen splitting out as a wide receiver left. Goodman's going to take the direct snap. He ran for 13 yards on a previous one. Here's the snap. He hands off. It goes to Armando Allen. And on second and 10, he breaks inside the 30 and down to the 28. Filippo gets him down, but a nice gain on the play and a good play call. So it's going to be interesting to see how Goodman factors into this game, Allen.
Well, it's a new wrinkle. It's something they haven't seen. And until they get used to the speed of how he runs, that what they call leprechaun, then Notre Dame can take advantage.
The Irish with the wind at their back now. 2 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the first quarter. Trojans lead 7-0. On their second possession, they went 88 yards in 5 plays. Touchdown throw from 20 yards out. Here's the handoff. Armando Allen dives. He's not quite to the first down, but very close to it. It's going to bring up fourth down and about a yard for Notre Dame. The ball positioned at the Trojans' 27-yard line. And the Irish now send out their kicking unit. Will Harris, one of the Trojan safeties, made the stop.
I mean, you want points. You wanted them to answer after that defensive series.
This will be a 45-yard field goal by Nick Tausch. No, they go fake play. It goes to Paris on the near side. He's heading towards the end zone, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds just short of it. A fake field goal. And Eric Moss, the holder, throws to Robbie Paris along the near sideline, and he has a first and goal for Notre Dame. Very close to the Trojan goal line. Let's see where they mark the ball. They'll mark it at the 2.
And that play may be reviewed because he knocked the pylon over. He dove, but you talk about speed. Taylor Mays, who was out of position, came and got him. Great play on the part of Notre Dame. Holder picks it up, throws it to Robbie Paris all alone.
20-yard gain, it looks like, where they'll stop the ball. Now the ball will be at the Trojan 2-yard line. It was a 25-yard gain, a pass from the holder Moss on a fake field goal to Robbie Paris along the right side, the near side. Now they go with a direct snap coming to Robert Hughes. He is standing. He gets the ball, runs at USC, and Robert Hughes is down to the goal line and looks like he's in. Touchdown Notre Dame. So the Irish going to the full bag of tricks. Work the playbook to perfection, and now they're an extra point away from tying USC. Notre Dame going 56 yards in 9 plays.
Great job of second effort on the part of Robert Hughes. Ran up into the hole. It was stuck right there. Just bounces off, keeps his legs moving, and is able to find a little crease to make that ball cross the goal line.
Big play in the drive was the fake field goal, the 25-yard pass from the holder Moss to wide receiver Robbie Paris, who was uncovered. He got down to the 2, and then on a direct snap to running back Robert Hughes, the big back pounds it in. Apparently they're reviewing this because there's a delay on the field for the extra point try. Robert Hughes with his head down, and as we look at the replay, it looks like he is at the goal line and in, but we'll see what they rule. Let's go down to Jeff.
Thanks, Don. Eric Moss, one of the top pitchers in the Big East Conference this past year, showed right there from his holding spot that he has the arm as he hit Robbie Paris. Paris was out of bounds, didn't quite get the pilot. I really don't know what this review is about because right in front of me the play occurred and Robert Hughes looked like he was in easily, maybe checking if his knee went down before the ball crossed the plane. But you got to put out all the tricks when you're facing a team that is physically superior to you, as USC, at least by most people's estimation, really is. So this review is taking a little longer than I expected, but right now it's still 7-6 SC over Notre Dame.
Well, they are exactly looking at the where did his knee go down? Did the ball cross the plane when his knee went down? And from our vantage point, looking at it,
further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So they do uphold the ruling on the field. It is a touchdown run by Robert Hughes of Notre Dame. And now the Irish ready to try the point after the Trojans give up virtually no points and other teams are in the red zone.
You know what? That is the 4th touchdown scored against this USC team this year.
Nick Tausch, the freshman, now will try the point after with Moss holding. Snap and set down. Extra point is up and pounded through. So with 1:04 to play in the first quarter, the score is now Notre Dame 7, Southern California 7. And the Trojans will receive a Notre Dame kickoff when we come back.
Well, you know, you can't say enough about the vision of a Charlie Weiss team to look for every opportunity to try and advance the ball down the field, and the fake field goal, perfectly executed play.
Back to Jeff Jeffers.
All right, Don, thank you very much. One of the all-time best I've ever seen play in this area when it comes to football, Mike Rosenthal. He attended Penn High School, which is near South Bend. All-American career for the Irish, very good career in the NFL. You ever seen that play run?
We were never fortunate enough to run those plays. You know, Coach Holtz never wanted to dig into that candy bag too often. But great play, great call. It worked out. Fantastic execution.
Mike is an offensive lineman. What's it like to go up against SC? Because let's be honest, the cast of characters may change, the philosophy doesn't.
No, it's based on speed. It's they've got speed, size. They're going to try and get upfield penetration. I think the key is to just run downhill at them and use our size to push them out of the way, which they did on the last drive. A fantastic drive for Notre Dame.
Let's go back upstairs. Mike Rosenthal, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Jeff and Mike. And now the Irish ready to kick off. Here is Tausch, a high spinning kick. It's going to carry down to the 2-yard line. C.J. Gable starts up the far side. Work a reverse, and USC fumbles it, but falls down into the 13-yard line. So USC tries to get fancy, and it blows up. And it'll be Trojans ball back at their 13-yard line.
Yeah, sometimes you dipsy-do, and it ends up being a dipsy-don't. You know, they've got enough skill that they don't have to pick a pocket.
When you're on campus, stop by the Hammis Notre Dame bookstore and varsity shops, or online at ndcatalog.com. Trojans and Notre Dame tied 7-7. 1 minute to go first quarter. Barkley, the freshman quarterback, under center, starting from his 13. Long count. Handoff. They go to the run. McKnight turns wide. Nothing. Notre Dame slams him down. No gain. He had blockers in front. They pulled the guards, but Manti Te'o, and what a man he is, this freshman from Honolulu. He threw the blocker aside and drilled the All-America candidate Joe McKnight for no gain. Maybe you got to give him a yard where they spotted it.
Yeah, Don, he's feeling it now. He's hunting the football right now, and he's like a heat-seeking missile when he goes at it. And Notre Dame, a good job. John Ryan that time, a good job of contained to force the ball back in.
This brings up second down and a long 8 for the Trojans at their 16-yard line. Barkley dropping to throw. Here come rushers. Barkley throws an out pattern, and it's incomplete at the 29-yard line on the far side of the field. The 29-yard line of the Trojans. Ronald Johnson, an All-American high school player at Muskegon, Michigan, where the former Notre Dame captain Jim Morse hailed from, who set a receiving record for Notre Dame some years ago against USC. Robert Blanton covering, so now it brings up third down and almost 9 for USC.
The pocket started to collapse a little bit. That ball came out a little sooner than Barkley wanted. That's why Ronald Johnson wasn't able to get a hand on it. Not to mention the fact that this is his first game all year. He's missed the last 5 weeks.
Third down, a long 8, almost 9. Trojans with the ball at their 16, tie game 7-7. Barkley from the shotgun. Here comes the rush. He fires downfield. It is caught for a first down as he feathered it in over the defenders. Notre Dame positioning to try to leap and intercept, and the ball comes in over the top for a terrific 17-yard gain to the best receiver, some would say, in the country, Damian Williams of Southern California, a transfer from Arkansas. He went to USC with the former high school All-American quarterback Mitch Mustaine. Mustaine is buried on the depth chart, but Williams has been elevated now to a select position among the elite skill position players in the country. Right now, after that 17-yard throw and third down and a first down for USC out to their 33, there's a timeout on the field. The score, the Trojans 7, the Irish 7. Will return after this timeout on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. Thank you, Andy. We're ready to start the second quarter now after that outstanding throw by the freshman Barkley for the first down on 3rd and 8. A 17-yard throw. The ball is now out to the Trojans' 33-yard line. They will go left to right with the wind behind them here in the second quarter as the temperature now into the lower 40s and the cloud cover coming in is getting colder on the field. Most of the Trojans wearing long sleeve shirts, or a lot of them are. All of them in the skill positions are wearing gloves. Quarterback Barkley is one player who is not. Barkley under center. Here's the snap. He play fakes. He's looking long. He's in trouble. Now he throws downfield, and it's almost intercepted by Notre Dame. A terrific play by Robert Blanton at the USC 48-yard line along the near side, as Barkley tried to put a hard-thrown ball on the hands of Damian Williams, who he hit for the touchdown earlier. And Blanton came up and got his hands on it, lost it falling down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It was running and was in his hip pocket, Don, in a trail position. And then as the ball was thrown, just stepped right in front, got the hand on it, tried to make the pick, but that ball was thrown real hard.
Barkley, even though he was a high school American, had a lot of problems with interceptions last year at Mater Dei High School, throwing them. Here is a pitch back. Joe McKnight runs wide to the right, and he breaks it into open field, and Joe McKnight turns the corner and is finally out of bounds after a big gain all the way out across midfield on the far side. Finally, he's run down. A terrific pitch play, a stretch play, blockers in front, and McKnight breaks a 25-yard run for USC.
Yeah, that McKnight is always, it's an emergency when he gets it. Good blocking on the field, too.
Back to Jeff Jeffers.
That's one reason Robert Blanton's attempt at the interception was so key. He's dropped 3 of them so far this year, and that one was critical. USC went an unbalanced line. The old student body right. McKnight, who set sail.
And with the run by McKnight, the ball is advanced to the Notre Dame 42. 7-7 game early second quarter. Pitch back. Bradford runs to the near side. Alan Bradford is submarine, and he breaks the tackle and gets inside the 35-yard line and down to the 34. So USC comes out running. Kyle McCarthy on yet another tackle for Notre Dame, the senior from Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, you know, McKnight, when he got tackled on that last play, a little bit limping, just a little bit, and so Alan Bradford came in for that one.
McKnight, as you know, Alan, has had injury problems. He was the high school player of the year out of River Ridge, Louisiana. It's 2nd down and 3 for USC. Tie game 7-7, second quarter. Here's a handoff, straight ahead power run, and breaking it to the Notre Dame inside and the 10 down to about the 9-yard line, straight ahead power football. Bradford just broke a tackle the line of scrimmage, broke 2 more as he hit the linebacker level, and then ended up with a big gain all the way down to the 10-yard line.
It's just power football right there. Alan Bradford, 5'11", 235 pounds. A man just leaning forward, keeping those legs churning. And a couple missed tackles, mentioned as one of the keys to the game, being fundamentally sound with the tackles. Finally, Kyle McCarthy gets him 30 yards downfield.
Now the Trojans in this tie game 7-7 now challenging. First down at the Notre Dame 11. Moving left to right. Barkley drops, takes a look, throws a timing pad into the end zone, overthrows his receiver, and open Damian Williams. Barkley with too much on it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans at the Notre Dame 11, a 7-7 game.
You know, I think he let that ball go just a second early. Damian Williams was coming on with Robert Blanton, bit on the fake that he made, but the pocket was starting to collapse. So, Don, you talk about, you know, the pressure. They need to get pressure on this Barkley. They don't have to always get to him and sack him, but if they can close that pocket up and make him throw sooner than he wants, they've done their job.
Well, let's see what the job they go to now is the Trojans have Barkley under center. 7-7 game, second quarter. He hands off. This is Bradford turning wide. Alan Bradford trying to string out the Notre Dame defense. He'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. A gain of maybe 3. Blanton with a good defense. The Notre Dame coaches felt that the quarterback for Southern California, Matt Barkley, would throw at least 2 passes to their defenders today, and the question was, could Notre Dame intercept him, hold him, and catch him? And Blanton dropped an interception. Notre Dame would have the ball now, but the Trojans now have the ball. 3rd down and a long 5. Ball at the 6-yard line of Notre Dame. McKnight is the eye back. Now he goes out in motion left. Long count. And the official jumps in and looks like USC is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they were outnumbered on the wide side here, Don. If Notre Dame brought the blitz, Barkley might have to cancel Christmas.
So there's a timeout on the field with 12:54 to play in the first half. The score, Notre Dame 7, Southern California 7. The Trojans challenging. Now this for Geico. Don Criqui with Alan Pick and Jeff Jeffers at Notre Dame Stadium. Second quarter, 12:54 to play in the first half. Notre Dame 7, Southern California 7. But the Trojans now have the ball at the Notre Dame 6-yard line with a 3rd down and 5 for a first down and 3rd down and 6 for a touchdown coming up.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that they can make the first down without getting the touchdown, get 4 more cracks at it. USC in the red zone this year, 85% conversion rate, 60% with TDs, scoring 24 TDs. 40 opportunities in the red zone this year.
Bradford, a 235-pound runner, now comes on the field, replacing Joe McKnight. He's the lone back. 3 wide receivers right. Barkley going with a lot of long counts under center, the freshman quarterback. Here's another one. Now he drops, takes a look. Barkley pump fakes, throws over the middle, and throws it away. And it'll bring up 4th down for USC. And will they send their kick team out? You would think they would, but Pete Carroll's right down there at the line of scrimmage. And they are sending their kicking unit out. Their kicker is Jordan Congdon. He has hit 6 of 8 this year, long of 42. And this will be a virtual extra point. It'll be a 25-yard field goal.
Where he's in that 20 to 29-yard range, he's perfect, 5 for 5.
He is kicking left to right, wind behind him. Wind is swirling. Here's the snap and set down. The kick is up and good. So at 12:46 to play in the first half, the Trojans drive downfield but are held to a field goal. It is now USC 10, Notre Dame 7. Trojans going 79 yards in 11 plays. Now this message from McDonald's. Back to Notre Dame Stadium, 12:44 to play in the first half. The Trojans on a long drive held to a field goal. They now move to a 10-7 lead on Notre Dame, and USC ready to kick off to the Irish. Trojans kicking off left to right. The wind is coming out of the west, and Trojans kicking with it at their back.
And Don, the Trojans got points on that particular series, but as a defense, anytime they get in the red zone, you want to turn over first, field goal second. So win by the defense. When you consider the fact that the Trojans did find a couple of seams in there where they were running the football, just overpower Notre Dame. But Notre Dame, this defense, toughened up at the right time and limited them to a field goal.
Jacob Harfman ready to kick the ball off for USC from his 30 to our left. Back for Notre Dame, Barry Gallup Jr. and the freshman Theo Riddick.
And USC not afraid to kick it to Barry Gallup Jr. Every other team Notre Dame has played has shied away from it, especially after Michigan kicked it to him and he ran it back 51 yards.
Yeah, that set the tone. Then they started kicking to Riddick, who's been effective also. Now here's Harfman approaching the ball. High spinning kick downfield, not very deep. Now they're going to whistle it dead, and they're going to re-kick it, it looks like. You see no flag on the field, no offside on the kick team.
Just didn't do it on the ready. And it's always advantageous for the receiving team when there's a mistake like that and the kick team has to rerun. They usually are a step slower, and that's all you need sometimes.
Barkley, the freshman quarterback, has hit 4 of 10 passes for 94 yards and a touchdown. He hit some big ones in that scoring drive, touchdown drive. Clausen 3 for 8 for just 20 yards. He'll get the ball next. Here is the kickoff again, a second time. This one is much deeper, all the way back to the 2-yard line. Theo Riddick runs it across the 20, finds an open gap. Riddick works his way across the 30. Trojans come hitting, but a great return by this freshman from Somerville, New Jersey, a 32-yard return. And the Irish down by 3 with a long way to go in the second quarter. Will go 1st and 10 from their 33. Jarvis Jones makes the stop for USC.
Give a lot of credit to Theo Riddick because, you know, when you hit that hole, when you're running on those kickoff returns, it's like going 50 miles an hour through the toll booth. You know, if you hit it at the right second, you know, you'll get a few extra yards.
Well, Notre Dame spreading the field now. They're going to be throwing off of a shotgun set. 5 receivers on the field. USC playing that Tampa defense. They come with 4 rushers most of the time and drop 7 to cover. Snap to Clausen. Gets some time. Stands in. He better hurry. He's sacked. Clausen, that was a coverage sack. He had nowhere to go. Pass blocking was good by Notre Dame, but you can't block him forever. And Nick Perry finally got to him at 2nd and 12.
7th sack of the year for Nick Perry, leading sacker, and it was a cover sack. You know, and what luxury USC has, because they can just drop 7 people and just count on a good rush from the front 4.
Now Clausen on 2nd and 12, standing in the shotgun. He's at his 26. Irish have to get to their 43 for a first down. Clausen stands in, crossing pattern. The ball is on the hands of Deion Walker. He catches it, but let's see, are they going to rule it incomplete? Apparently they are. Walker came up with the ball, but they really touched the ground at the 35-yard line. So it's incomplete. Ruling, and it brings up 3rd down and 12 for Notre Dame.
You know, this defense, the rush has just about taken Kyle Rudolph and Golden Tate out of the football game. You know, Clausen he only has a little bit of time back there, so it's hard to get these deep routes in.
Now Goodman comes on the field again. This time he is split out way wide to the right. They have single coverage on him. And Clausen calls a timeout as he looks at the USC defense, and that stops the clock with 11:55 to play in the first half. USC 10, Notre Dame 7 will return after this timeout on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network.
USC leads Notre Dame 10-7. 11:55 left in the first half. A real chess match going on down here. Notre Dame tries to counter something. USC comes back on the next possession. They try to stop the pass, and USC goes to the run. Right now, Notre Dame faces 3rd and 12. The reason there was a re-kick on the kickoff after the USC field goal, the officials went too soon. They were not yet out of commercials for NBC, so that necessitated the re-kick, and Notre Dame didn't get much of a break on that. But tell you what, the key right now to the game in terms of the Irish offense, if USC is only rushing 3 guys and they're getting coverage sacks, Notre Dame is in for a tough road. We'll see if Charlie Weiss will be able to make those adjustments. I imagine he would.
Irish down by 3 with a big play coming up now. It's 3rd down and 12 for Notre Dame. Ball position at the Irish 31-yard line in blue and gold. Gold helmets in dark blue jerseys, white numerals. They're moving right to left. The Trojans in the garnet helmets, white jerseys, garnet numerals, and gold pants. Both teams coming in 4 and 1. Now Clausen in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers on the field. USC almost jumps offside. Clausen now takes a look. Will USC be blitzing off the edges? Now they pull back. Clausen takes a look, gets some time, fires down the middle, and it's an errant throw at the 40-yard line right over the middle of the field to Golden Tate. It was a bit behind him, so Clausen is off target on a 3rd down throw, and the Irish, Allen, have to punt the ball.
Yeah, you know, Clausen tried to fit that ball in there because coming across the middle, you got one of those deep safeties hunting you up, looking for you, and he tried to throw it to the back shoulder of Golden Tate so it would sit him down right there, but it's a little too far behind.
Back for USC is Damian Williams, who has scored the touchdown today. He comes up on the ball. It takes a big Notre Dame bounce inside the 30 and is down to the 27. Might have rolled even farther. The ball is down there, and the Trojans will go on offense 1st and 10 from their 27, leading Notre Dame 10-7. A 42-yard punt and no return.
Fortuitous bounce right there. In fact, Notre Dame thought that it hit a USC person. That's why they were quick to recover it right away, but didn't hit anybody. But you got the good bounce and a 42-yard punt. And this wind right now, you know, elongates the field for USC.
Well, Barkley from Southern California playing in his first cold weather game, but it hasn't got cold yet. It will in the second half.
And they're going to review it.
Well, they're going to review and see if Well, you have something going there, Alan. Did it touch a USC player and recovered by Notre Dame?
Well, I mean, Notre Dame reacted they reacted like it hit somebody.
Let's go to Jeff.
I didn't see it touch a USC receiver, and nor did the USC receivers react as if it did touch them. They would have been scrambling for the ball. Notre Dame was smart to fall on it just in case. It's not going to, I don't know if it was called from the sideline for a timeout to review it. That's what they're doing now. The Big East is in the replay booth, but I didn't see any touch.
If it didn't touch anybody, it went right through a guy's legs from USC. As we look at the television replay.
Yeah, it went by. They're looking at if it touched T.J. McDonald, who's a safety and cover man, wears number 7, just like the quarterback, Matt Barkley. And it looks like it just missed him. You know, that ball, you never know. The thing is oblong. You never know where it's going to bounce. But to me, it looks like it didn't touch anybody. USC ball.
Still 11:41 to play in the first half. Southern California 10, Notre Dame 7. USC on her second possession. Went 88 yards in 5 plays, scoring on a 20-yard touchdown throw from Barkley to Damian Williams, and the Irish drove down the field. 25 yards of the drive came on a fake field goal attempt and a pass from the holder Moss to the wide receiver Paris, who was alone near the sideline. He got to the 2, and Robert Hughes.
After further review, the rolling on the field stands. First down.
Robert Hughes ran it in from the 2. And then the USC drove down and had settled for a field goal. So it now stands 10-7 Trojans over the Irish. 11:41 to play in the first half. USC moving left to right. And now the sun is pretty much gone in northern Indiana. Cloud cover in. Barkley under center. A pitch back stretch play. It goes to Joe McKnight again. Turns up. Notre Dame gets him. They're a very short game. As coming up was Manti Te'o, the freshman linebacker, who's so fast and so quick, Ellen, to diagnose. He knows where the ball is, and he gets to it with authority.
He ran it down from behind, Don. He came across the line. Somebody was trying to hook him, and while the running back was looking to make his cut, ran him down from behind. And I don't care where he comes from, you forward, backwards, he's delivering a blow.
So McKnight is taken down after a gain of only 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Barkley again with a long count. Here's the snap. Barkley stands in. Rush comes. He stands up close to the near sideline. And he gets it down to a good catch by David Ausberry at the 34-yard line. The official there, Notre Dame thought it hit the ground, but the official there says no, it was a good catch. And USC gains about 5 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Trojans from their 34-yard line. They lead 10-7, second quarter.
Manageable 3rd down. Barkley did a good job of buying himself time. Had to throw that ball a long way just to get 5 yards.
USC breaks the huddle, moving left to right, leading 10-7. 10:19 to play in the first half. USC has to advance the ball out to their 43, and now another timeout is signaled for by Barkley. We saw something in the Notre Dame defense he wasn't certain of, with a 3rd down coming up. And the Trojans have a timeout called. They have only 1 left.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there was, with Joe McKnight in there, there's a lot of things you can do. And I think that they were anticipating nickel. And Notre Dame was not in nickel. If you're in nickel, then you got one more big guy. You can run right at him. But if you're in base defense, then the defense has one more big guy. And although there's a lot of faith in Joe McKnight, you never know.
Back down to Jeff Jeffers.
USC got great news this week when Stephon Johnson, the leading rusher, who was injured 17 days ago in that weightlifting accident, got to go home from the hospital. Also, in practice on Thursday, C.J. Gable was injured when he cracked knees with an opponent on a kickoff return. So right now, it's Joe McKnight and Alan Bradford who are going to go the rest of the way, I would imagine, as the starting tailbacks. Both 5-star athletes coming out of high school, and both show no signs of any fatigue.
Well, we still got a long way to go here with 10:14 to play in the first half. Trojans with 3rd down coming up. They need 4. They lead 10-7. They're at their 34-yard line. Barkley, their freshman QB, takes a shotgun snap. Blitzers come. He throws. Almost picked by Notre Dame. And then a diving catch is made for a 1st down on a It was skipped off a Notre Dame receiver or a defender and almost intercepted. And Ronald Johnson, let's see if they ruled it a catch for a first down at the USC 48-yard line.
They probably won't take it because there was interference on the part of Notre Dame right there.
Ball hung in the air, and Johnson dove for it and appeared to come up with it on a third down play. It looked like Notre Dame had another play on an interception. There have been no turnovers yet.
Pass interference on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
So it is ruled a catch on a tip ball out to the 48-yard line. USC's 48, and the Trojans march on as they connect on a tip ball reception by Ronald Johnson, back in the lineup after missing 5 games with an injury. First and 10 USC. They lead by 3 to the Trojans, second quarter. At the 48-yard line of USC, Barkley rolling out to the far side, fires down the middle. Man, he isn't even. He throws the ball 25 yards away from any receiver. He must have been looking for a deep pattern, but they weren't running one. He was looking at Ethan Johnson, too. Barkley's looking at the rush after he got absolutely pulverized earlier, rolling out and trying to escape when he was hit by Manti Te'o.
Well, I mean, it was a good fake right there. Yeah, you do think, after you take a hit like that, Don, you do think and you say to yourself, I'm not putting myself in that position again.
A couple of guys slipped on the play also. Now it's second and 10 for the Trojans at their 48, moving left to right. Notre Dame comes with a blitz. Here's the throw to the near side to Damian Williams. He has a blocker in front, and Williams is hit, but he might have a first down at the 43-yard line of Notre Dame. They work a screen to the near side, and they had wide receiver blockers in front for a gain on the play of about 10 yards.
It looks like the
spot looks like it might be just short of a first down.
Haven't signaled it yet, but you know that's one of those plays you give to a freshman quarterback. High percentage, gets 2 blockers out front, and you put the ball in the hands of your athletes, let them make a play.
Well, they made a play, a well-conceived play by the Trojans, and now they have third down and just over a yard. Alan Bradford, the big back, 235 pounds, is the eye set behind the fullback Havili. Play fake. Here's a throw over the middle. Receiver is open. And the tight end gets the ball, McCoy, and he's thrown down to the Notre Dame 20 on the near side. As the gain is 22 yards, a play fake to Bradford, and then the quarterback Barkley spun and threw to the open tight end, who's made 2 big catches today.
Well, great play call by Johnny Morton, offensive coordinator for USC. This is a team that's rushing for over 200 yards, got one of the best offensive lines in the country, and they do play-action pass on 3rd and 1. Fooled everybody in the house. Fortunately, Kyle McCarthy got back, and it wasn't that great a pass because the tight end should have been in the house.
Yeah, it was a little short, underthrown, and McCoy had to come back at it. First and 10 USC at the Notre Dame 20. Here is a handoff to Bradford, and Notre Dame stops him for no gain. A ball's on the field. Notre Dame signaling they have it, but let's see what the officials say.
Well, they're calling Notre
Irish
Dame.
have the ball on a fumble by Bradford. The Trojans are stopped, and the Irish take over, trailing 10-7. John Ryan, the senior from Ignatius High School in Cleveland, falls on the ball.
And I think that's going to be reviewed, but, there was penetration immediately in the backfield, which messed up the timing for Alan Bradford. He was never able to get any kind of rhythm. He got hit a couple of times and spun around. It looked like the ball did pop out. Don't know if he was down all the way or not.
Well, we're looking now at the television replay. The handoff was clean, and Bradford then has it stripped. And the ball might have come up after he was down. We'll see what they rule.
Notre Dame tried to run a play real quick, but to no avail. I think he's down. He's down,
Rolling on the field with a fumble recovered by the defense.
Yeah, Cameron Lewis Moore came in when Alan Bradford was spinning down to the ground. He was going on his back. Cameron Lewis Moore came, put the headgear on the ball and knocked it out when he was down.
And while they review the play, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. They're still reviewing the play now. The ruling on the field was that Alan Bradford of USC fumbled, and it was recovered by Notre Dame at the Irish 21-yard line, with the Trojans leading 10-7 second quarter. And we'll see what the word is conveyed down to the officials. led by Michael Batlin, referee from this Pac-10 officiating team. Big East reviews the plays upstairs.
Well, I mean, looking at the replay myself, and I ought to apply for the replay official job because I think I got a good understanding of the rules and how things go. And it just happens in a split second.
Get over there, Alan. Make a ruling.
But looked like the player was down. Looked like Alan Bradford was down. And Cameron Lewis Moore came in with a good hit. You know, helmet hits the ball, and let me tell you something. When that helmet hits the ball, I don't care if you got crazy glue on your hands. It's coming out. But it's
you've always maintained that helmet will cause more fumbles, huh?
Yes, it does. And as a back, what you have to do, you got to protect the ball even more. I remember playing, Don, when I would see guys going for the ball, and I would just make sure I'd move my hand, so I'd let the hand take the hit instead of the ball getting the hit. Didn't do a good job for my hands, and I can't grip the golf club as good as I want to, but didn't fumble.
But you didn't fumble. Back to Jeff.
Tough part for Notre Dame right now is they've been achingly close to 2 turnovers. One, when Blanton dropped the interception. This one I'm pretty sure is going to be called the other way. But also, Matt Barkley's not throwing the ball at all well right now, and yet he's made 2 huge plays simply because the receiver, when they went 3 guys to this side, one of them was uncovered. Notre Dame was in the wrong defense, and the tight end getting wide open. Alan, you were right. He should have waltzed into the end zone because he was so wide open. Notre Dame's got to hang in there right now. Even if they go in down 6, that's a lot better than being down 10 or 17. Right now, this game may be hanging in the balance.
Well, also, Barkley, Jeff, he took a thunderous hit from the freshman linebacker.
After further review, it was determined that the runner's knee was down prior to the fumble. Therefore, the ball will be placed at the 21-yard line. 11 yards to go. Second down.
I contend that all you want replay to do is get it right. And they got it right on that one. They don't always get it right.
So the Trojans will keep the ball as replay overrules the call on the field that it was a Trojan fumble and Irish recovery. And so now Southern California will have the ball at the 20-yard line of Notre Dame. Second down and 11. Actually, about 21-yard line. Trojans go left to right. Joe McKnight is in the backfield behind Barkley. Double tight ends. And I run that stretch run near side. Here's the snap. Stretch run near side of Joe McKnight. And he is taken down for no gain. In fact, he lost a yard to the 22-yard line. Sergio Brown penetrating and makes the stop.
Yeah, you know, what you do as a DB when the sweep is coming your way, you go and you blow up the lead blocker. And when you blow up the lead blocker, if the running back is too close to him, then it's going to knock him over too. And that's what Sergio Brown did. Just went and took the knees out of the offensive lineman, who's a much bigger guy. And one other thing I want to point out, Don, Tyron Smith, who's the right tackle, got rolled up on that play that was almost a fumble. Darius Fleming is over him. If they have to rush, he might be able to get him.
Well, let's see. Now it's third down and 12 for the Trojans. Shotgun snap. Barkley pitches. Joe McKnight running wide to the right. Turns the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds. He gained maybe a half yard. Robert Blanton with a hard two-hand thrust at the blocker, knocked him back, and then ran McKnight out of bounds. So USC has to try a field goal again. Jordan Congdon, who hit a 24-yarder earlier, comes out. This will be longer. The hole will be at the 27, a 37-yard attempt. Win behind Congdon. If good, it would give the Trojans a 6-point lead. They lead 10-7 with 7:15 to play in the second quarter. Snap and set down. Kick is good. He barely got it there. Did a very good job, the holder, getting the ball upright. It barely got there, so the Trojans got a field goal after a 69-yard drive on 8 plays, and they lead Notre Dame 13-7. Now this for Geico. Back to Notre Dame Stadium. Don Criqui with Alan Pinkett, Jeff Jeffers, Andy Jones in our ISP Network studio. 7:10 to play in the first half. USC driving down the field, stopped again and has to kick a field goal that barely got there. And it is a good connection, though, and it's now a 13-7 Trojan lead with Notre Dame ready to get the ball as the sun has broken through again on a day where the temperature's dropping down to the low 40s. And soon the sun will be behind it. We keep bringing this up because it gets very cold when the sun goes down in northern Indiana on a day like this.
Yeah, that hawk comes out. And, you know, the hawk, it doesn't matter how many layers of clothes you have on, it goes straight to your bones. When that sun is down, it's like Antarctica decides they're going to take a trip down here.
But Notre Dame has not been able, Alan, as you know, to unleash the passing of Clausen. He's just 3 of 10 for 20 yards against this Trojan defense. Barry Gallup and Theo Riddick are back deep now for Notre Dame. Standing to our right. They'll return it right to left. Jacob Harshman is ready to kick the ball off for the men of Troy from his 30. Crouches the ball. Booms it downfield with the aid of the wind. It's hit down to the goal line. And here comes Theo Riddick. Straight ahead. 10. Turns up. And he is hit. Man, that looked like a forearm to the head.
Forearm shiver.
They take him down, so Notre Dame will start at their 17-yard line. Jarvis Jones is credited with the tackle, and now let's see what Notre Dame can do with still a lot of time left in the first half. There's 7:04 to play in it, and the Trojans lead on a touchdown and 2 field goals to Notre Dame's touchdown. It's 13-7.
Jimmy Clausen trying to find a comfort level in there. Hasn't had a lot of time to look downfield to throw, and Notre Dame hasn't necessarily rushed the ball that well.
Trojans coming primarily the 4-man rush, keeping their safety back. This is the basic Tampa 2 defense they talk about. And here is a handoff. Running hard is Armando Allen. Doesn't get a lot, maybe a yard, as Jarrell Casey puts a head-on shot on him. A 295-pound sophomore defensive tackle. Second and a long 9 for Notre Dame at the Irish 19.
You know, this is what makes this USC team so tough. They stuff you on the run, and then they got 8 people back when you try to throw the football, so you can't find those holes.
Notre Dame working with 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Clausen in the shotgun stands at his 14-yard line. It's 2nd and 9. Here's the snap. Clausen backpedals, timing throw, fastball, nicely connected on the far side, and driving ahead maybe for a first down is Duval Kamara. They will give it to him. He was not out of bounds. So Clausen, with a real quick pattern, puts it quickly on the hands of Duval Kamara on the far side of the field for an 11-yard gain and a first down. Kamara, Allen, got the last 5 yards with pure strength.
Yeah, where you been, Duval, with a play like that? You know, he's dropped a few balls, you know, was a little bit soft. I know he had knee surgery in summer camp, but that play looked like somebody who was mad, determined to get the first down.
The Trojans playing their corners up. Their corners are right up on the Notre Dame wide receivers. So those timing patterns can be dangerous. Here is a handoff. Armando Allen breaks into the secondary. He's got a first down on a straight ahead juke move, run up the middle, and he's ahead for a gain of 13 yards and a first down. Taylor Mays got him down, but great blocking by the Notre Dame offensive line as they split open the defensive front for a 12-yard gain.
All you need is a crease, Don, and, you know, good blocking by Eric Olson, Trev Robinson to create the crease, and great acceleration that time by Armando Allen to he was on the secondary before they could ever react.
So Notre Dame is now out to their 43. 5.5 to go in the first half, and the Trojans lead 13-7. Shotgun snap, near side throw. Here is a Golden Tate on the run across midfield, and he has the first down to the 46-yard line of USC. A gain of 11, almost 12 yards on the play. Michael Morgan, outside backer, makes the stop for Southern California.
Had to go to him. Nobody is covering him on the line of scrimmage. The safety is back about 12 yards. Easy pitch and catch. It's a nice block from his receiver buddy outside. Result is a first down.
11-yard gain. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Trojans. Irish moving right to left. Clausen now with very quick timing throws. He's firing the ball almost as soon as he gets it in the shotgun snap. Here is a handoff. Notre Dame goes to the run, and they get yards from Armando Allen. And a power run right to left is Sam Young, Trevor Robinson, and the center, Eric Olson. Eric Olson is going to be an all-pro someday in the NFL. I predict that.
Yeah, Eric Olson, a fiery competitor, and a guy you want on your side. I love a center who will not only drive the defensive lineman into the ground, but stick his knee in his chest when he gets up.
Now it is a 2nd down and 7 play for Notre Dame at the USC 43. Trojans lead second quarter 13-7. Clausen in the shotgun, moving right to left. Here's the snap. Quick out. Ball is caught by Kyle Rudolph. and a terrific tackle, but he does get plus yards. He gets it down to about the 42. They're trying to get the ball to Rudolph, who has the best per reception average in the country for tight ends, almost 13 yards a catch, but they've shut him down today. Kevin Thomas took him down, a cornerback, and now, Alan, we have a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that open field tackle by Kevin Thomas, much smaller, went and took the legs out, just kept his head up. Nice textbook technique, because Kyle Rudolph is excellent in the open field.
Notre Dame huddling a lot today. They just came out of a huddle. Blitzers have to come. Taylor Mays comes up to the line of scrimmage, and Clausen wisely just backs away. And now he's going to call a timeout, Jimmy Clausen. Taylor Mays, the big safety, 235 pounds. He passed up being a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, staying for his senior year. Rick Neuheisel, the UCLA coach, says he is an unblocked tackler. He makes a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage. Coming up, he is almost linebacker size at 6'3", 230. He's a free safety.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dangerous person back there. You know, he strikes fear in all the receivers in the NCAA, because you think you're doing okay when you catch the ball over the middle, and here comes 6'3", 235 pounds, blazing speed, and will just punch you up and hit you. And so you always have to know where he is. And now, I think Jimmy was licking his chops. Hated to call this timeout, because with Taylor Mays coming on that blitz, that means it's going to be one-on-one with Golden Tate and whoever was covering him. And he saw it, and he wanted to call it, but I think he ran out of time on the play clock.
So far, Golden Tate, Allen, has 2 catches for 21 yards. Robbie Paris has 2 for 30. Rudolph 2 for just 6. And Kamara 1 for 12. Clausen now is 6 of 13 throwing the ball for 44 yards. His freshman counterpart, Matt Barkley, 7 of 14 for the Trojans for 136 yards and a touchdown. So here comes the play from the sideline with 3rd down and a long 6 coming up for Notre Dame inside the USC 43-yard line. Trojans lead 13-7. Second quarter. Clausen in the shotgun. USC brings people up on the edges. They might be coming with blitzers. Notre Dame with 1 timeout left. Here is Clausen. Blitzers come. He stands in, takes a look, throws near side, caught by Rudolph, and he's down to the 39-yard line. He'll be short of a 1st down, and we'll see if Charlie Weiss elects to go from scrimmage for the 1st down. It would be a field goal attempt, a very long one into the wind, and Notre Dame's keeping the offense out there on 4th down and 3. Now they're coming, bringing them out.
And
bring the punter out. Yeah, they might have make them go the long field.
Play the field position game. You're going to get the ball to start the second half anyway. You ran a lot of time off the clock, so you kept the USC offense off the field.
Notre Dame's a freshman punter.
Fake though.
Ben Turk. High snap, big rush. He punts the ball end over end, right to left. And the ball is fair caught by USC at the Trojans' 12-yard line by Damian Williams. A 27-yard punt. So now the clock shows 2 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the first half. Southern California, number 5 in one poll, number 6 in another, leading number 25 Notre Dame 13-7, late second quarter. While we have this opportunity, let's check in with Andy Jones in our ISP Network studios.
All right, Don, thank you very much. A surprise at the Swamp where Arkansas leads number 1 Florida at halftime. 10-3. We'll have all the scores and highlights from the games earlier today coming up at halftime. Don?
First down and 10 for Southern California at their 12. There's a handoff. Trojans go to the run. Notre Dame stops it cold. At the 12-yard line, Joe McKnight is stopped by Cameron Lewis Moore. A defensive end in his first year playing for the Irish. Didn't play as a freshman. He's been on load for the USC blockers to handle, though. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9, and the clock runs with 2:26 to play in the half.
Let me give Capron a little more credit on that play, because he's in a trail position against a great cutback runner. Stayed in a good football position and stayed level and made the play.
He did indeed make the play. 2nd and 10. Here is Barkley dropping. Blitzers come. Barkley throws and makes a completion. Short of the 1st down. Now maybe might have the 1st down to the USC 23 to Blake Ailes coming off the edge. Barkley had blitzers on him. He was almost falling back when he threw the ball, so he makes a good play. with 1:57 to play in the first half. It looks like it could be they're going to measure first down for USC at the Trojans' 23-yard line. They lead 13-7.
Well, recognized the blitz and also had the matchup that they wanted. Big on small. Blake Ailes, tight end, 6'5", 245 pounds. There's nobody in the secondary that's going to be able to cover him going across the middle. He got his hands on it, and he was a load to bring down.
And USC certainly has gotten some production from the tight end position. Alan, Anthony McCoy with 2 big catches today. Starting tight end.
The tight ends, to me, those are the real true studs you have on offense because they're big enough where they can be physical with you, but if they're athletic enough, they're just, it drives the defensive coordinator crazy.
The clock starts up. 1:55 to play in the half. USC goes from the shotgun. Here's a blitz on Barkley, and he's hit and sacked. And there's a penalty marker down. Ball on the field, and Notre Dame has it. Manti-Te'o. There also is a holding call on USC, I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to call it. They may call it an illegal forward pass because he just shoveled the ball as he was going down. Barkley going down, he shoveled the ball.
Well, if it's to an illegal receiver, it's a legal forward pass no matter how he throws it forward. Let's see what the call is. Manti-Te'o came up with the ball. They're ruling a legal forward pass.
And grounding. You can't double up on those, can you?
Well, this is 3 almost turnovers that Notre Dame has been denied now.
Right.
It's a legal forward pass. It will not be a catch.
You got a holding in there.
It's definitely got to be a hold, but the USC can run out the clock now, or certainly run it down. 1:45. Notre Dame does have 1 timeout left. Robert Blanton dropped an interception earlier. There was a fumble.
2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Holding number 71. That penalty is refused. Intentional grounding on the quarterback. That penalty will be accepted. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
Yeah, that's the one to accept. That loss of down is always the one that gets you. And now what that does is, with that loss of down, it takes it to second down and forever. And Notre Dame may think about using their timeout right here to get the ball back.
The Trojans, though, still have second down and 15 coming up. So they're not out of this drive by any means, even though the ball is back at their 18. Huge crowd noise facing Barkley and the Trojan offense. They're in front of the Notre Dame student body. Another long count. They're waiting for Notre Dame to jump. They've tried that all day. Here's a handoff, and USC runs for about 5. Stanley Havili, the fullback, gets his first carry. Gary Gray gets him down, and he got out to about the 22-yard line of the Trojans.
It seems like Stanley Havili has been there forever, but he's very, very
He's only a junior also.
No, it just seems like we've been calling his name for 9 years.
It's now third down for USC. 3rd and 10 at Southern California's 23-yard line.
The other guy that was like that was Keith Rivers. I'm like, when is this kid going to get out of school?
Trojans lead the game 13-7. Joe McKnight in the backfield. To McKnight. Turns the corner. Works the sideline. Knocked out of bounds on the far side. Short of the first down. And the Trojans, that will stop the clock going out of bounds with 56 seconds left. Blanton on the defensive play for Notre Dame. 8-yard gain to McKnight. And the Trojans will punt the ball to Notre Dame. USC leading the Irish 13-7. 56 seconds to play in the first half.
Well, I mean, this is a good opportunity for Notre Dame. This punter averages 43 yards, and he's punting with the wind, which means that Golden Tate should get an opportunity to return.
But he's got the wind at his back. Does Harfman. A bad snap, but he picks it up on the one hop and booms a punt downfield all the way back. Golden Tate lets it roll, and it's going to be down at about the 10-yard line of Notre Dame. So Harfman makes a big play. There's a bad snap. He picked it up on the one hop. Notre Dame had set up the return, did not have rushers, and it ends up a 59-yard punt for USC as they lead by 6, and Notre Dame gets the ball with only 44 seconds left to play in the half.
Well, credit the punter right there. I mean, he made the difference. That's, special teams. You can't deny the importance of special teams because it was set up for Notre Dame to try and put themselves in a position to make a great play, but the punter just booms it 59 yards. It was a good decision by Golden Tate to let it go.
Now what does Jimmy Clausen do deep in his own end? He might just run the ball, Allen, get out of jail, go to the locker room and try to regroup. Down by 6. They do go to the run. Robert Hughes turns the corner, protects the ball. He's down at the 8-yard line, a loss of a couple of yards. USC still with 1 timeout left. The clock running. No, Notre Dame can run the clock out here in the first half.
Yeah, Robert Hughes took the bait that time. That defense is designed to bounce you outside because with a big back, they've got all the speed, and that's why that play was shut down right there for no gain.
And that will do it for the first half of play as both teams trot to the far end of the field into the tunnel. At the end of the first half, the score is Southern California 13, Notre Dame 7. Now here is the kickoff hit downfield. Theo Riddick across the 20, spins out to the far side, goes to the 30, and then he's thrown back by USC. Golden Tate actually took it back to return the kick with Riddick, and so it will be a 1st and 10 for Notre Dame in the third quarter as we open play from scrimmage with the Trojans leading the Irish 13-7.
Yeah, new wrinkle right there, Don, putting Golden Tate back there. I know he's getting antsy, just wanting to get his hands on the ball any type of way. He is the best athlete on the field for Notre Dame. So they've been moving him around in the slot, also wide receiver, put him in the backfield. Needed the Golden Tate to have a big half.
Irish in blue and gold, down by 6. Open the third quarter with a handoff, straight ahead run. And the Irish power the ball at USC. Armando Allen runs it out to the 35-yard line. A big block from the left guard, Chris Stewart, who helped open the way. Defensive lineman Jarrell Casey on the stop for USC.
Good job by Notre Dame moving the pile. Just a little draw play, but a statement type of play. First play of the second half, you're going to shove it down your throat, and they get 5 yards.
5 yards it is. 2nd down and 5 for Notre Dame. Clausen in the shotgun, standing at his 30. He hands off Armando Allen on a slant drive. His powers ahead. Looks like he has a first down. And USC saying he fumbled and they have the ball. Let's see what the officials rule if he was down. They're making no signal that it has been a change of possession. So apparently the ball's going to be spotted down at the 40. And it's going to be a first down for Notre Dame.
Got to be careful there because you get in the scrum, the officials are letting the play go, and a lot of times a guy can get his hand in there and shake that ball loose. Happened right there. It's just you got to determine, is this forward progress done or not?
Charlie Weiss, Ellen, obviously deciding at halftime they have to establish a power running game to bring these safeties back. Now here's a quick out throw. It's caught on the far side by Duval Kamara. He's out to midfield, and they have another Notre Dame first down. A beautiful throw by Clausen, an 11-yard gain. He triggered the ball to the far side, the right side. Quick timing throw, and Kevin Thomas, the cornerback, finally gets Kamara down, but 11 yards downfield. First down, Notre Dame.
Glad to have you back, son. Duval, 2 big catches today. Running the ball like he's mad at somebody, but good route that time. Sticks it vertical, comes back, shows his numbers to the quarterback. Did an excellent run after the catch.
Kamara, a big wide receiver at 6'5", 218 pounds. He's wide to the right. Here is a near side throw to Golden Tate. He turns the corner, and Golden Tate goes down to the 42-yard line. A gain of almost 8 for Notre Dame. A quick out to the near side. Will Harris knocks him out of bounds. And now the field is starting to get enshrouded with the sun really kind of coming down and leaving the premises at this point. Could get colder.
Yeah, but that offense staying out on the field, they're revving it up. They're getting warm. And, that particular play, they ran it in the first half with Golden Tate in the slot. Nobody covering him. But this time he lines up in the slot on the sunny side.
Notre Dame using a different formation and a different go-to guy in each snap of the ball in this possession. Here's a handoff. Armando Allen runs at USC, and he breaks it down to the 36-yard line. First down, Notre Dame, as he powers off the left side and tackle Paul Duncan and guard Chris Stewart. Everson Griffin knocks him down. But the Irish offensive line, Alan Pinkett, coming off the ball hard here in the third quarter.
Got that defensive line of USC catching And if they're going to catch, these big horses will move them out of the way. And Armando Allen, an excellent job of reading right now.
USC leading 13-7. Notre Dame driving on this first possession of the second half. First down at the USC 36, moving right to left. Shadows enshroud the field now. It's Clausen under center, hands off, back to the run, and USC shuts it down for a loss of about 3 yards. Armando Allen got straight ahead carry, and Jarrell Casey, the 295-pound sophomore, whose name has been called more than any other on the defense this day, makes another stop. This for a loss.
First negative play of the series. First down blitz by USC. Notre Dame lucky they still have the ball because the handoff was just made when contact occurred.
Now Clausen goes in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's the snap, 3-man rush by the Trojans. Clausen rolls out to his right, far side, looks to throw. He's going to run. Oh, now he throws on the run, makes a connection down to the 28-yard line of USC to Robbie Paris. And that's going to bring up third down and about 3 for Notre Dame as Clausen bought time with his feet, rolling to the right, to the far side. And then Paris wisely coming back of the ball on his knees makes a catch for a gain on the play of 7 yards.
You know, he wanted to go to his left. He didn't really want to run to his right, but they knocked Golden Tate down on the ground. 2 people knocked him down on the ground. Guess it had to be within that 5-yard barrier. And so wisely, Jimmy Clausen able to get outside, and Robbie Paris gave him his numbers. Easy pitch and catch.
Tate has been shut down today. 3 catches for 27 yards, 9 yards a catch. He averages over 18 yards a catch prior to this day for the season. Notre Dame's leading receiver with 36, and now Clausen will call a timeout with third down and 2 coming up for Notre Dame at the USC 28-yard line. The Trojans leading 13-7, 11:01 to play in the third quarter. Now this for Allstate. Irish with the ball, 28-yard line of Southern California, 11:01 to play in the third quarter. Trojans lead 13-7. Notre Dame with a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, and on 3rd and short, Armando Allen is 6 of 7 running the football. Notre Dame has done an excellent job this series, with the exception of 1 play running the football. Armando Allen has been very patient, and the offensive line for the most part has been blowing them off the line. But it also sets up an opportunity for play action right here. They've had success running the football. They can fake it, hunt up number 9, Kyle Rudolph, and, you know, with this over-pursuing defense of USC, might get a shot there too, Don. So,
well, let's see what they go to. Notre Dame, you mentioned Armando Allen. He has run now 9 times for 38 yards, about 4.5 a carry, against the USC team that gives up 2 yards a rush on the average coming into the game. Notre Dame spreads the field. Clausen is under center with 3 wide receivers and 1 running back. Here's the snap. Handoff. Armando Allen puts his head down, drives ahead. And let's see where their linesmen come in. It looks like on the spot is just short, which will bring up 4th and a foot. They went right at USC behind the right guard, Trevor Robinson, and right tackle Sam Young. Filippo, the middle backer, is the first to make contact. Let's see where the spot is. It's going to be very close.
Real short. You know what? Notre Dame spreads the field out to try to put USC in nickel, but USC kept its regular defense in there.
Now James Aldridge comes in, Alan. You recall in the first half, on a short yardage play, he came in as a lead blocker. He's not played since the opener because of a shoulder injury. And instead of blocking, they gave it to him on a quick hitter, and he did get the first down. USC brings their linebackers up, goal line defense. Here's a handoff. It is to Allen, head down. And let's see if he gets it. One lineman looks like he's, well, we're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be by inches. USC thinks they stop Notre Dame.
Got forward progress on that thing. Yeah, so it is going to depend on
the entire USC coaching staff is on the field a lot of the game. They're all the way out past the number markers.
Yeah, and you know you do that because you can have an influence.
Pete Carroll now is almost to midfield and no flag.
Well,
it is a penalty to be away from the coach's box. I mean, it's once in a while to do it. Now they're dragging other coaches. The coaches come out on the field after every play and make a suggestion.
Well, the rules don't apply to Pete. He runs things, but you know, there was a good surge on that
Going to
play.
be short by the nose, it looks like, from here.
If they give James Aldridge his surge, his initial surge over the top, it should be a first down. But if they don't, oh no.
6 inches short, you can see the spot. And the coaches are back on the field. Well, whatever's fair, right? No Reggie Bush to push anybody, but now Notre Dame will go on defense as the spot is ruled in favor of USC, and the Trojans take over the ball, but the Irish are going to come out hitting right now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the defense needs to really make up for that. Offense had a good head of steam. You hate to give up the ball on downs, and this offensive line was doing a good job that series.
So it is USC 13, Notre Dame 7. Will return after this timeout on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network.
4 minutes and 54 seconds off the clock to start the third quarter, and Notre Dame has to give up the ball on downs. The left side of the line was just collapsed there, and Aldridge really had no chance as SC was low and got it done. And to be honest, I thought the Irish got a fairly generous spot on it. It looked to me like Aldridge was stopped for a loss. They did give him his forward surge, but it was still short.
That's one of those times where you got to go over the top. You know, if they're going to be submarining down there, over the top, you know, get that vertical.
Now let's see what the Trojans do on offense as they stop Notre Dame on 4th down. And it is 1st down and 10 for USC, leading by 6, third quarter. 10:06 to play in it. The ball at the 27-yard line of Southern California. Television still not out of commercial, so USC standing over the ball, as is Notre Dame's defense. Ready to play now. Trojans with their quarterback under center. Long counts all day. He's looking for Notre Dame to jump. Here's a rush on Barkley. Here to throw. Ball is broken up nicely and almost picked off. Damian Williams was the target. Darren Walls broke it up at the 32-yard line of Notre Dame along the right side, near side. And so it's 2nd down and 10. USC at their 27-yard line, moving left to right.
No reason to throw that ball, Don. I mean, Darren Walls was all over him like a suit, and he throws the ball to him. And so, kid likes taking chances.
2 USC turnovers on replay, and correct replay review were overturned, so they didn't lose the ball. No turnovers yet. There will be. Here is a handoff straight ahead to Alan Bradford, and he gets to about the 30-yard line, got about 3. Brian Smith, inside backer, makes the stop for Notre Dame. And now the USC has a 3rd down and 7 coming up from their 30.
Yeah, good job by the defense creating really a passing 3rd down. That's where you want to put USC. You want to make the quarterback try to beat you on 3rd down and take the run away.
Barkley, the quarterback, standing at his 26. He needs 7. Out to the 37-yard line of USC. 3rd down. Here's the snap. Notre Dame comes with rushers. Barkley under pressure, throws downfield, and makes a beautiful connection for a 1st down out to the 45-yard line on the far side of the field. As it's caught by Bryce Butler, another freshman, a 15-yard gain. A big play by the Trojans on 3rd and 8. They hit for 15.
You know, just an endless supply of receivers. We haven't called Bryce's name yet, but a freshman out of Norcross, Georgia, 6'3", 200 pounds, a big target. Ran a nice route, actually able to shake Sergio Brown to get open.
So the Trojans convert the 3rd down, and the ball's out now to their 45-yard line. Moving left to right. Here is Barkley rolling out near side, looking for an open receiver. Throws it near side, and is caught. And running with the ball is Havili near sideline. He beats a tackler at midfield and runs inside the Notre Dame 40 along the right side and down to the Irish 38-yard line, a gain of 18 yards on the play. As Havili was almost stopped for a short gain, and then he beat the tackler and finally was taken down by a defensive back, Gary Gray. So the Trojans convert some big pass plays now in this drive. Their first possession of the second half. In the game, they lead by 6.
Havili went down real hard that time, seeking some assistance. Put a knee down right there, but an excellent play fake on the part of Matt Barkley. Really selling the run. Manti Te'o came in on the inside blitz, and he was just lost in the pile. And it just free run for Havili and Matt Barkley.
Barkley now 10 of 18 for 180 yards and a touchdown in this game. Clausen with his 10 of 17 for 75 yards. It is 13-7, Southern California, the way it stood at the half. And Stanley Havili is being looked at now. He's down on one knee at the 38-yard line of Notre Dame with a whole training staff and a doctor around him. So there's a timeout with the score. Southern California 13, Notre Dame 7. Now this message from Allstate.
We go back to Notre Dame Stadium and rejoin Don Criqui and Alan Pinkett. Gentlemen.
All right, Andy, after a couple of good throws by Barkley, the USC Trojans are now down to the Notre Dame 36-yard line. Moving left to right. 8:36 to play, third quarter. Trojans lead the Irish 13-7. Barkley under center, two wide receivers to the open side, the left side. One to the right. That's Damian Williams, who caught the touchdown pass. Barkley drops. Blitzers come. They pick it up. Barkley is crushed. Barkley is slammed down way back as Notre Dame's Brian Smith coming on a linebacker blitz, and Barkley is getting up slowly, but he seems to be all right. Notre Dame's second sack of Barkley now. And let's see, they're going to spot his forward progress. They're going to mark the ball at the 41. He was thrown back farther than that, but they ruled that's where his forward progress was after he was hit and subsequently sacked. So it brings up second down and about 16 for Southern California, the Notre Dame 41.
Timely sack, because what the sack does is you want to put them out of field goal range. Now, they still have 2 plays to go, but that's one of them.
Barkley has taken some hard hits today. Second down. Here comes another blitzer. Throw to the flank. USC has an open man running the far sideline. Inside the 20. Goodbye. USC is in the end zone. Damian Williams for a second time. And again, the whole coaching staff is on the field as one coach tries to send them back. But who wouldn't celebrate a brilliant 41-yard play as USC now extends to a 19-7 lead. A quick slip screen to the far side, and the Trojans go 73 yards in 6 plays.
That's the problem with the blitz. It's a risk-reward type of deal. Notre Dame comes with the full house blitz. They just throw the simple screen. Sergio Brown tries to go up to tap it, but he can't, and it's an easy run in for Damian Williams.
They got a coach in charge of USC of getting the other coaches back on the sideline.
Yeah, get back, coach.
But a big play by the Trojans. Congdon hits the extra point, and now Southern California has a 20-7 lead with 7:29 to play in the third quarter. We'll return after this timeout on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. So the Trojans hit a brilliantly conceived play, break it for a 41-yard touchdown pass. And it is a 20-7 lead for the Trojans over the Irish with 7:29 to play in the third quarter.
That is the blitz killer play that they ran, Don. It's a simple play. You stick 3 guys out wide. All the pressure's coming from the outside. You got one guy going downfield, one guy staying in the block. You're outnumbered, so easy play for USC. And it's just a risk-reward anytime you blitz. But the good news is it's a 13-point lead, not a 14-point lead. You know, that 1 point looms if Notre Dame could get something going.
And now, Alan, Notre Dame is dropping back 2 of its best players, not the usual kick returners who are good at it, but they have got Golden Tate and Armando Allen back for Notre Dame. And Notre Dame really has to respond with a scoring drive here, down 20-7, midway through the third quarter. Here's the high spinning kick. Golden Tate from the 7. 15, 20, 30, 25, and almost to the 30, and then he's thrown back. Ball is on the field. See if it's a live ball. They might rule him down. Notre Dame has it. They'll keep the ball. But the Irish start deep in their own end.
Yeah, that's the danger. You know, there's a lot of people down there, but Notre Dame looks like they came away with it. You want to get the ball in the hands of your best receivers, but you know there's a lot of needless injuries that come from being on special teams.
So it's 7:21 to go in the third quarter. Mike Ragone got the ball back for Notre Dame. It might have been on the field. And here comes Clausen out now, the #1 rated pass efficiency leader in the country throwing the ball. But today he's been held to 75 yards on 10 of 17 throws. He's under center now. Irish go with an eye set in the backfield. They've not been able to hit the long ball today. Clausen takes a look. Here comes the rush. Clausen is sacked at the 20-yard line. He almost ran away from it. Everson Grissom flexes his arms, and he might be called for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, that'd be a break if Notre Dame could get it, but you talk about speed of a guy who's 6'3", 280 pounds, ran down the quarterback.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 93 in the defense, 15 yards, result in a first down.
Well, sometimes gifts can come before Christmas.
Well, Griffin made a big play, but then called for unsportsmanlike conduct, and so the ball will be advanced for a first down for Notre Dame.
And a play like that can spark a football team, Don. Getting a break like that, they start getting good feelings all over again, and so they'll execute a little bit better.
On the unsportsmanlike, the ball now will be moved out. Let's see where they're going to mark it. Being advanced out across the 30, out across the 35-yard line. Now the penalty is going to be right at the 35. So Notre Dame will go 1st and 10 from the Irish 35-yard line.
Look like the officials huddled together, and somebody pulled out a trick calculator to figure out how long 15 yards was.
This is a very spirited game, and this Pac-10 crew has good control of it. They send warnings that they don't want anything excessive. A lot of emotion out there between these longtime rivals in their 81st meeting. It's Clausen from the shotgun, taking a lot of time. He runs the ball. He's got a lot of room to run, and Jimmy Clausen slides to a first down out to the 47-yard line.
And he got hit at the end by Chris Gallipo, and he's wanting that flag right there, but not going to get it.
11-yard run by Clausen. First down, Notre Dame.
But he getting the first down, moving the sticks, always good. And Don, like you said, I think Notre Dame has to respond on this particular drive. They have to answer with some points because you don't want USC, the 13-point lead, start to stretch it out on you.
Well, let's see what they do now. Notre Dame, ball at the Irish 46. First down, shotgun snap. Clausen takes a look. Blitzers come. Here's a throw. Open receiver, Robbie Paris. Head down. He's got ball's out in the field. Notre Dame recovers. But the ball's recovered is at the 45 of USC, short of the first down. 9-yard gain, Golden Tate.
Heads up play by Golden Tate to know that the ball was down. These guys are experienced in the secondary. They go for the SWAT all the time. In the strip, you have to be conscious, and you got to protect both corners of that football.
No, the Trojans are well schooled, Ellen, in hunting the ball. They are indeed trying to strip it. And that time they knocked it free, but Golden Tate got it back. So there's a 9-yard gain on the play. And it's second down and 1 for Notre Dame, moving right to left in blue and gold at the USC 45-yard line. Shotgun snap. As Clausen now comes up for a line of scrimmage and backs off, standing at midfield. Here's Olsen with a snap, 4-man rush, good blocking, long ball downfield. Golden Tate going for it. Golden Tate out there. Golden Tate seems to have the ball. Touchdown Notre Dame. To the Irish, hit the deep ball for 6. 55 yards.
Well, you knew at some point, Don, they were going to have to take a shot. They haven't stretched the field all day long, and it's been my opinion that they can't cover Golden Tate anyway. But they got the max protection that they needed, and Jimmy Clausen threw a wonderful football. That drive, you said we needed an answer. How about 78 yards in 4 plays? Probably try and review.
Play is under review. Clausen with the long ball, timing throw, 2 men on Golden Tate. And he definitely caught the ball, but we'll see what the review shows. Let's go back down to Jeff Jeffers.
If the call stands, that will be the first touchdown pass given up by SC all year long. Now, it also is the best ball Jimmy Clausen has thrown all day long because he had time to do it. I didn't get that good a look at it because everybody from the Notre Dame bench jumped out of the field to watch the end of the play.
Yeah, it looks like a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Yeah, it does look like a touchdown. You know, he came down, his momentum carried him in, but excellent throw by Jimmy Clausen because he knows Taylor Mays is back there and going to go jump that route. So he had to throw it outside, and he had to take some of the trajectory off of it because if it hangs up there too long, Taylor Mays goes and gets it. But Golden Tate did a good job of going up and getting the ball at his high point.
After further review, the rolling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So Notre Dame hits the USC defense with its first touchdown pass of the season. And now Notre Dame getting set for the point after, which, if good, would bring the Irish to within 6 points.
Right, I know Kevin Thomas is down there saying, man, I didn't think he was that fast.
They had to risk it and go for it. Yeah. USC had great coverage.
Yeah, they did.
But Clausen's throw was phenomenal. And Tate, between two receivers, went up and came down with the ball as all three of them jumped. Nick Tosh with a point after try. Spins it up and good. And now with 5:18 to play in the third quarter, the USC lead is cut to 20-14.
Well, you know, there was a sense of urgency on the field, Don. After USC scored the touchdown on that 44-yard play, that 20-7 is just too big of a lead. You can't say, oh, we got a lot of time left. So I think the confidence that this offense has now, Don, to know that against all odds they can come back and make a play. The confidence they've developed over the last month, having to come from behind, I think is what enabled them to go out on the field and execute. And that throw, you can't say enough about that throw, Don. Where he had to put that ball, it was a big league throw and a big league catch.
So Notre Dame right back in the game now with 5:18 left to play. No turnovers in this game yet. Two plays that were called on the field, USC fumbles, were correctly overruled on replay review that the ball was down before the fumble. But you got to think, Alan, if something's going to turn over one way or the other in this game, the way they're hitting out there.
Oh, it's been a very physical game, and you knew that was going to be brought to the table. I mean, a traditional rivalry where, there's respect for one another, but they don't like each other. And it's a big game. It's one of the games that you come to this institution to play, and vice versa with USC. So you want to play your best in this game, and that means bringing the wood, and that's what both teams have been doing.
It is the 81st meeting between Notre Dame and Southern California. USC has won the last 7. Notre Dame leads the overall series by 9 victories. Here is a kickoff into the wind by the freshman, Tosh. From the 11-yard line, the return is straight ahead, and C.J. Gable doesn't get much as he's going to be knocked down at the 27. About a 15-yard return. And so, it will be 1st and 10 for Southern California as Notre Dame answers on a drive they really had a score on.
Yeah, they did. And USC with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now, this is their opportunity, probably final opportunity, to have the wind at their back if they want to, if it comes to kicking.
And Notre Dame will work with the wind in the fourth quarter. USC has it now. Still 5:13 to play in the third quarter. McKnight is the lone setback. Barkley under center. He's dropping. Blitzers come. He throws near sideline. Ball is caught. Wow, what a hit. This Manti Te'o blows people up. He hit Anthony McCoy. There was a plus gain out to the 33. But Te'o, he arrives with just such explosion.
Hit you like you stole his lunch money. He comes with a vengeance. Got there a teeny bit late, but a good job by the defense turning him in, turning Anthony McCoy in.
But there was a gain of 7 yards on the play for the Trojans. Now it's 2nd and 3, a long 3 from their 34. They lead by 6, third quarter. Handoff. Straight ahead run, didn't get there. A 3rd and short for USC. Joe McKnight runs straight ahead. As Notre Dame's defensive line, the big 295-pound Ian Williams fills a gap and throws him back.
Good game so far for Ian Williams. I mean, over top of, he's got a split time between Christopher Dowd and Jeff Byers, and been pretty much holding his own. A couple runs have gone by him, but he's been, pretty stalwart in there.
Third and short, I set in the backfield. Alan Bradford is the I back. They play fake to him. Here's a blitz, a ball thrown downfield. It's to a wide open tight end. It is Anthony McCoy running inside the 10 and all the way down, still not done, down to the 5-yard line. The blitzer came and he released the ball. Did Matt Barkley just before the blitzer hit him hard. And the throw was on the hands of Anthony McCoy. A phenomenal play by USC. You won't see better in the NFL. And so on third and short, USC goes over the top, hits a 69-yard pass to the tight end, catch and run. And now they have it first and goal inside the Notre Dame 5-yard line.
Identical play they ran in the first half with Notre Dame biting on the fake. Knew they sort of had an idea they'd come back to it again. And they were successful this time.
McCoy has not been defended. He's been catching big plays, not a lot, but they're always big. And here's a handoff running with the ball is Alan Bradford. He works hard to get a couple of yards to about the 3. Ian Williams was on the stop, the tight end for Southern California. McCoy now has caught 4 passes for 125 yards.
That's a great day for a tight end, Don.
Great. Off the charts great.
Yeah, if you can go over 100 as a tight end. You know, it's been done here at Notre Dame a few times.
He slipped by the Notre Dame safeties, Alan, and he almost got to Barkley, but almost can be a sad, sad story if you're blitzing. Either you get there or you don't, and they didn't get there, and now let's see what Barkley can do. He's in the shotgun. Here's the snap, pitch back, goes to the far side. Bradford turns it up. He's hit hard at the goal line, but he might be in. They give him a touchdown. He landed on the goal line.
You know what? That ball got knocked loose, but he may have broken the plane before he dropped it. Notre Dame is asking for it to be their ball, but the touchdown is signaled.
73 yards on 5 plays. The big one, the long pass play to the tight end on third and short. So USC again looking to extend now to a 13-point lead.
And here comes the review. And we're going to see. Let's see what the. Oh, Don, wait a minute. And now he got hit, got jarred back a little bit. Now, what's going to be key is, did he break the plane before the ball came loose? Because the ball did come loose. And here's the sideline view that we're watching. Got the student body left. Puts his head down.
No, he did not break the plane before the ball came. Well, now he's got it out and loses it. I think it's a touchdown.
Yeah, ground caused the fumble right there. That's it. So, yeah, that's different angle. We got to check all the angles. He got hit. He extended his arm out. When he extended his arm out, the ball hit the ground.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown for Bradford. He lost it after he cracked the plane of the goal. And with 2:35 to play in the third quarter, USC again extends to a 12-point lead with the extra point coming up.
Yeah, Notre Dame answered, but USC say we got some answers in our book too.
Failure to cover the tight end could be the sad story for the Irish at the end of this game, as McCoy with 4 catches for 125 yards, a career day for him, and a big factor in UCLA building a 27-14 lead.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to keep in mind with that lead, if Notre Dame can mount something, that 1 point, that extra point, always makes a difference. Now, they got 2 minutes and 35 seconds until they get to the fourth quarter. Anytime you're in comeback mode, the one thing you want to do when you close that gap, you want it to be 14 points. There's 14 points, and in this case, it's 13. Anything can happen in the fourth quarter.
Now the Trojans will kick off to the Irish. Notre Dame will be going into this wind, gusting up to 15 miles an hour. Temperature has dropped, but USC seems to be responding well to the coldest conditions they played in this year. They have not responded well in the recent years to some inclement weather. The last 2 times they played at Oregon State, UCLA has lost to the Beavers. And they lost earlier this year at Seattle when there was a little inclement weather. Although it was the great play of the Huskies that day that had much more to do with it. 27-14, Southern California. Notre Dame scores. USC comes right back and answers. Here's the kickoff, hit downfield. Golden Tate looks at it. It hops out of bounds inside the 5. Notre Dame will start from their 40.
Yeah, good play by Golden Tate. See, that's that outfielder in him, you know, just knowing how that ball is going to bounce and how it's tracking. So an excellent field position to start. You want a short field, and here you go. It's just as good as a return.
I mean, that's like a great return.
Yeah.
Out to the 40. So Notre Dame will have the ball positioned at their 40. Irish in blue and gold. Trojans in garnet, white and gold. White jerseys. Irish in dark blue jerseys with the gold helmets moving right to left here in the third quarter.
And you know what Notre Dame did with that touchdown? They have now stretched that defense. The underneath routes will be open now.
USC safety playing way back, a two-deep zone, a classic professional football two-deep zone. Here's Clausen looking, and he's going to be sacked. Jimmy Clausen had to wait for somebody to come open. There's a loss of about 9 yards on the play. Wes Horton, a defensive end, got to him. USC is the luxury of generating pass pressure with 4 down linemen. They don't need blitzers often, and they subsequently have 7 people to pass defend.
I mean, it's a staple of a USC football team. Great defense, starting with the defensive line. They've created a lot of All-American safeties and corners because of that defensive line, too.
They call that in the pros the basic Tampa 2 defense. 2 deep safeties stay back. You rush with 4, not a lot of blitzing. Here's a throw. And that should be
that might be a flag.
Throw one.
There it is.
Val Kamau interfered with it at the 41-yard line of Notre Dame on an out pattern.
Josh Pinkert just went over the back. He was able to touch the ball, but you can't go over the back. Trying to say I didn't hit him, but there's all the white chalk marks
Pass
on the ball.
On the defense, number 36. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Josh Pinkert is a big defensive back, 6'1", 215 pounds. Senior. He did get his hand on the ball, but you can't climb the guy's back to do it.
First down and 10 for Notre Dame on the pass call, interference call. PI as they call it. And Notre Dame has the ball first and 10 at their 41. Moving right to left, down by 13. Clausen again stands in. Looking to throw on the run. Penalty markers thrown to completion. Penalty markers in the backfield could be a holding against Notre Dame. Let's see now. Everson Griffin seems unhappy about something. We'll see. It's going to be signaled against the Irish.
Yeah, it's too bad. You know, they were going to try and go to Kyle Rudolph over the middle of the field. Taylor Mays right now is playing.
Holding. Number 72 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, I mean, Paul Duncan is over there playing that Everson Griffin. That's a man he's having to block, and he's hard to contain. So, but anyway, Taylor Mays right now, the deep safety, is playing outside the hash. You know, wherever Golden Tate goes, if Golden Tate lines up wide, Taylor Mays in that cover 2 outside the hash. So the middle of the field is vulnerable.
Tough call now, though, for the Irish. USC will be coming hard. First and 20 at the 31. Clausen drops, takes a look. He's running from trouble. Looking, and he wisely throws it away right to the USC bench on the far side of the 40-yard line. No place to go. USC getting pressure with 4, and again keeping 7 back to defend. Back to Jeff.
For the first time I think I've ever seen, Everson Griffin, defensive lineman, was head up on Golden Tate. So in effect, Tate was triple covered with Mays shading over to his side. But the man up on Golden Tate's face was a defensive lineman, number 93, Everson Griffin.
Well, now another long yardage call for Notre Dame on second down and 20 from the Irish 31. USC leading late third quarter, 27-14. Clausen looks, fires, open receiver, makes the connection. Not enough for a first down. Boy, that's close to a late hit.
Yeah, it was. They were holding them up.
They held up. Who came in with that shoulder? That was a hard pop. Malcolm Smith did. But they ruled it a clean tackle, and it's a 14-yard gain. But that still now brings up third down and 6.
Yeah, I tell you how tough Golden Tate is. You come across the middle, you know you're going to get hit.
Notre Dame 2 of 8 converting third downs. This is third down and 6. Clausen in the shotgun. Blitzers come. Here's Clausen making the throw. Incomplete to the near side of the 50-yard line to Robbie Paris. USC getting pressure, and that brings up 4th down. And again, these coaches, there must be a different set of rules out there. Coaches come out in the field.
Well, if the Pac-10 referees are on the field, they used to having conversations at midfield with the coaches, it seems like.
Whatever's fair. Right now, though, Notre Dame's punter is on the field, Ben Turk. USC put a big rush on him earlier in the game. Damian Williams is back here as a high set. Turk boots the ball, end over end, good punt. Williams fair catches at the last second. That's a bad call.
That is a bad call. You can't just...
The tackler for Notre Dame was about a foot away, and the guy put up his hands at the absolute last second. They might pick that one up.
And the player that hit the guy, which is Jordan Cowart, really tried to back away from him.
Kick catch interference. Number 60 on the kicking team. 15 yards.
Unbelievable.
First down.
Well, I guess it's a good play by Williams because he waited and waited, and the guy, the absolute last second, the ball was a couple of feet from being caught. He whipped his hand up in the air, and the Notre Dame player couldn't stop, and they call him for an interference call. So the official on top of it, and USC gets a 15-yard advancement now out to their 34-yard line.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to get the penalty, at least you want to get a good hit on the guy. You know, this guy was trying to back off of him.
First down, Southern California from their 34. Barkley all day long, long ball, open receiver. It's easy to do it that way, down to the 41-yard line. Barkley untouched, confidently surveying the field, checking down, checking out, looking at the crowd, and throwing for 26 yards, unencumbered by a pass rush.
Yeah, mass protection that time, only sent 2 people out on the route. Sergio Brown was the deep safety. He actually slipped and fell on the ground, which allowed Damian Williams, when he made his out post cut, to be wide open. They're trying to bracket him. You know, you got Darren Walls who's trailing him, and then the safety is supposed to be over the top, but the safety falls down. Receiver's open. Completion made.
Notre Dame player down on one knee at the 49-yard line. It is Darius Fleming, maybe Notre Dame's one of their best defenders, who missed last week with a hamstring pull. He's the best rusher. Averages almost 2 tackles for loss. Again, I seems to be okay. He's up and walking off.
You know, the thing is, I couldn't tell what they were looking at. Thought it may have been the lower body, but it looks like it was the upper body.
Now he's jogging off.
Yeah, you would hope that sometimes you can sustain an injury to the upper body, but the lower body, you got to have your wheels.
Now the Trojans send 3 receivers in a diamond formation to the right. Barkley takes a look over the middle. Wide open is the tight end. He always is. He's inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to the 13. Anthony McCoy jumping up in the NFL draft. As he makes play after play, John Ryan brings him down, but McCoy personally has taken apart the Irish defense. That a 28-yard gain by the USC's little-used tight end as far as throwing the ball to him until today. 5 catches for almost 160 yards.
Yeah, he's been the answer, and that's a little wrinkle right there on the throw to the side. They get the receiver going downfield instead of throwing it out wide.
That'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play with the score USC 27 and driving Notre Dame 14. Now this for McDonald's.
We return to Notre Dame Stadium for the 4th quarter. Let's rejoin Don Criqui and Alan Pinkett. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Andy Jones. Anthony McCoy, senior tight end from Fresno, California for the Trojans, had 9 catches in the previous 5 games. Today he's got 5 catches for 153 yards.
I mean, they got enough talent. They can dial it up from anywhere.
As we open the 4th quarter now, the Trojans have the ball. First down and 10 at the Notre Dame 13-yard line. USC leading the Irish 27-14. Barkley under center. Rolling out. Rusher's coming. Barkley throws. Makes a connection. Ball is caught. Into the end zone. No, he's knocked down at the 1-yard line. Rhett Ellison on the backup tight ends. So what they did, they rolled the quarterback wide to the right. to the far side, and then the tight end, Rhett Ellison, who they don't go to often, just mirrored him, ran along parallel to him, and he threw to him, and then broke it upfield for a 12-yard gain to the 1, 1st and goal. USA ready to put this game away.
Yeah, you know, Rhett, that's his second catch of the year, and I got to tell you, give credit to John Morton, offensive coordinator, rolling out his quarterback, because Notre Dame comes with the pressure, he rolls away from it.
There's a timing throw to the end zone, knocked down. Good defense by Notre Dame. As Sergio Brown slapped it down, looking to build QB numbers here, throwing from the 1-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Pete doesn't mind building QB numbers for this quarterback because he's got to stay with him at least 2 more years. He was building numbers for Matt Sanchez. He didn't expect Matt Sanchez to leave. Matt Sanchez says, I'm going for the money.
Most do. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you only have so many snaps in your body. You might as well get paid.
2nd and goal, USC, Notre Dame, 1-yard line. Handoff. Notre Dame stops it. Ball on the field. That is a lie. They're going to rule him down.
Yeah, he tried to extend.
I guess they ruled his knee was down. The ball definitely came out. Notre Dame jumped on it.
He tried to extend, as that Alan Bradford tried to extend, but it was down. It'd be a heck of a break if Notre Dame were able to get it as a fumble, but I don't think it is. But, you know, Notre Dame, shades of the Washington game, just stiffening up. That was McKnight trying to extend.
This is 3rd and goal for USC at the Notre Dame 2 now. Barkley under center, pitch back, stretch play wide right. Joe McKnight turns up. Looks like he got in. He did. He cracked the plane of the goal, hit hard. And USC now takes command of the game 33-14, going 66 yards on 6 plays.
Yeah, I mean, that kid is just electric, Don. And, you know, those offensive linemen running step for step with him, able to launch so that Notre Dame, when they launch to try to defend them, able to cross the plane of the goal line and get the score.
You look at this USC team, Alan, it's hard to believe that year after year they lose to unranked teams.
Yeah, I think their toughest competition is themselves. I think they lose focus 1 game a year, and on any given Saturday, anybody can beat you.
A couple of years ago, a 41-point underdog Stanford beat them. Last year it was Oregon State, a triple 3-touchdown underdog beat them. This year, an unranked big underdog, the Washington Huskies beat them.
Yeah, it's just they sometimes I think it just becomes so overconfident that other teams take advantage of that.
Right now it's USC 34, Notre Dame 14. Now this for Sylvania. This is Don Crickey with Alan Pinkett back at Notre Dame Stadium, South Bend, Indiana. The Fighting Irish now trailing the Trojans of Southern California 34-14 with 13:33 to play in the game. Ready to kick off for USC is Jacob Harfman. Golden Tate and Armando Allen are back for Notre Dame, and now Notre Dame has to go into an all-out pass offense against a pass rush that's so hard to block.
They've become one-dimensional. Always the goal of a defense is to make an offense one-dimensional, which means that those outside linebackers, those defensive ends, they're saying, let's have a party or a meeting at the quarterback. I'll meet you at the quarterback. They can just pin their ears back and come after the quarterback. But Notre Dame needs to get a quick one right here if it intends to stay in this game.
So the best of all circumstances for the Trojan defense, being able to rush the passer all out on every snap with a 34-14 lead. Here's the kickoff hit downfield. Golden Tate. 20, 25, spins, breaks one tackler, then another, crosses the 30, and is pulled down from behind. 22-yard return. And Notre Dame sends out its offense, USC its defense, and the Irish go left to right here in the fourth quarter. The field now shrouded in shadows. Temperature around 40 degrees. But the Trojans playing in the coldest climes they've played in some time are very effective in it. And very effective has been their straight-on rush by their front four.
Yeah, when you win, you don't feel as cold.
Lawson in the shotgun. Here comes the rush. A lot of time. Dumps it off over the middle to Golden Tate. Turns the corner, crosses the 40, out to the 50. Man alive. He is hit, and here comes a marker. The official on the play wouldn't throw a marker. Official 25 yards away threw one. The Notre Dame coaches almost went after Taylor Mays, who shoulder hit the great Golden Tate. Armando Allen.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit, number 2 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You know, it's hard as a safety to pull back. I'm not condoning hitting somebody out of bounds, but it's hard to hold off of somebody, you know, when the play is not finished and they're not out of bounds. You make that decision to launch, you hope that the running back is going to stay in bounds and take you on. But Armando Allen stepped out of bounds. Thank you, 15 yards.
So now the ball on the late hit is advanced to the 33-yard line. Lawson throws. What a throw and a completion. Down to the 23-yard line. Robbie Paris makes the catch. Doesn't go down. Took 4 Trojans to throw him back.
I mean, as forward progress was done, are they playing rugby or football? Starting to be some jawing down there now a little bit. USC got some good feelings going on, so it's important for Notre Dame to just keep playing.
Second down and just over a yard for Notre Dame. Handoff. Notre Dame goes to the run. And Armando Allen takes it down to the USC 15-yard line and has a first down for Notre Dame with 12:23 left to play in the game. But the Trojans in command 34-14.
They are in command, but good use of the clock on this drive. Used very little time on the clock. Now, they've already started because they reset the sticks.
Timing throw to the end zone by Clausen. Incomplete as the receiver, Golden Tate on the far side, almost ended up in the Trojan band. Josh Pinkard was defending. Timing throw, a fade pattern to the far corner of the end zone on the left side. And it's incomplete. Second down and 10 Notre Dame at the Trojan 15-yard line. 34-14 USC.
It really hadn't gone after Josh Pinkard today. That was the first time. Josh Pinkard, one of the 3 returning starters on this USC defense. 6'1", 215 pounds. Kind of hard to get behind him for Golden Tate.
Clausen is in the shotgun now on second and 10. Here's the snap. Timing pattern, far side, gets the ball to Robbie Paris, and he bulls his way down to the 6-yard line, almost to 5. On a second and 10, he got very close to a first down. It'll be third and a yard.
Got a good block there from Golden Tate downfield to help him get there. What's important is Notre Dame can get the first down without getting the touchdown.
Notre Dame quickly into formation without a huddle. Lawson in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the open side, the right side. Here's the snap. Handoff. Running is Armando Allen. He's down to the 3, maybe the 2, a first down. It'll be first and goal there for Notre Dame. Sam Young, the right tackle for the Irish, who started every game of his career through 4 years, leads the blocking.
You know, and you got to give credit to this Notre Dame football team because USC doesn't just let you run on them.
No, they're a hard team to run on. Irish with almost 80 rushing yards now. And here is a peek by Jimmy Clausen, and he dives in for a touchdown. He played fake, rolled out to his left. Quarterback Keep called play, and he dives in for a score. Irish goes 68 yards on 7 plays.
Yeah, excellent play call right there. The USC took the bait. You know, with Armando Allen having success.
Penalty markers thrown all over the field, Al, in the end zone.
Well, they started to talk a little bit then and getting chippy.
After play, dead ball. Personal foul, number 94 in the defense.
Yeah, you know, Paul Duncan was telling him about
that penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
That means getting overturned. But Paul Duncan was telling him about his political persuasion and 94, who's Armand Armstead, didn't agree, and so it got, those battles down there tend to get heated.
So it will be enforced after the extra point. It is now 34-20. USC, Notre Dame looking to kick the extra point. Nick Tausch to kick it. 11:13 to play in the game. Both teams set. Snap and set down. Kick is blocked by USC.
They've been coming in. They've been really knocking back the center all game long. It's just a matter of time. Now, no chance of us seeing that roughing the snapper penalty again, is there?
No, you don't see that their way. Yeah, Notre Dame was called for a roughing the center on a pass rush. Actually, a field goal rush against Washington gave Washington a second first and goal. Irish still held them, went on to win the game in overtime. But that was a clean block. I mean, they had 11 guys up rushing. Now the score is USC 34, Notre Dame 20, and this for Geico.
Back to Notre Dame Stadium. Don Criqui, Alan Pinkett. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Andy. 11:13 to play. USC 34, Notre Dame 20. And the Irish on the penalty against the Trojans will kick off from the 45-yard line.
Well, you have to keep in mind that onside kick is a possibility here. Although I think they'll still
you kick it out of the end zone with 11:13 left, don't you?
You should. You should. A lot of clock left.
Tosh hits a high spinning kick. Carries down to the 11-yard line. And Notre Dame's pursuit is magnificent as they throw down the return man, C.J. Gable. Sergio Brown leads the way back at the 12-yard line. So rather than kick it out of the end zone and give it to him at their 20, the Irish try a timed high kick, place kick, directional kick, and then they get their coverage down under it. And so USC, with a 14-point lead, will go first and 10 from their 12, moving right to left.
Yeah, mission accomplished, because they kick it out of the end zone, it comes out to the 20. So you got an 8-yard advantage by doing a little pooch kick. You fully expect USC try to really run this ball now. Student body right, student body left.
Barkley under center. Joe McKnight is his lone back behind him. Hand off to McKnight. He gets through the pile and gets out across the 25-yard line out to the 28. A gain of 16 yards. And all of it was in heavy traffic. People around him the whole way. It wasn't like an open gate that he just shot through.
Yeah, 5 yards of it was Notre Dame players just trying to get stripped. And Joe McKnight just going ahead and continuing to run.
McKnight was the #1 high school player in the country when he went to Southern California. He's a junior. Barkley was the #1 player in the country when he went there. He's there now as a freshman. Jimmy Clausen was the #1 player in the country, Notre Dame's quarterback. Barkley under center. Rolling out to the near side, to the left. He throws, makes a connection. Tight end complete. Out to the 40-yard line of USC. Rhett Ellison makes the catch. And a gain of 11. First, let's see where they spot the ball now. And a Notre Dame player is down.
Manti Te'o is the one who came across and made the tackle.
So the Notre Dame defensive lineman was shaken up.
Yeah, that action where they start out to the right and then they roll out to the left. Sometimes you get caught up and it looks like it's
Ian Williams.
Yes. Guys who they can ill afford to lose.
So Williams is down right now, being looked at. Now he's sitting up and he's up. And he is coming off under his own steam. When you're on the campus, stop by the Hammes Notre Dame bookstore and varsity shops or online at ndcatalog.com.
Went and made my deposit yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, it's hard to get out of there for under $200. But good quality.
I thought your old jersey would be enough. Number 20.
That one's gone down in value.
Might be coming back.
Right.
Let's go to Jeff Jeffers.
This has been a very physical football game. USC has not had Stanley Havili for about now a quarter and a half. He's our starting fullback. Matt Barkley limped over to the sidelines there. Notre Dame's really got to be kicking itself, because in the first 2 plays of this possession, after pinning USC at the 12, they've given up 28 yards, and the first run by McKnight, Notre Dame was there and just did not tackle. Alan, you're exactly right. They're trying to strip the ball, but you got to tackle the guy first. So any glimpse has got to be on Notre Dame stopping USC right now, and as quickly as possible. You get within that 1 score, anything can happen. We all know that. This game's really taken on some semblances of the Washington game, and believe me, USC, even though they lost to Washington, they got their bit in the mouth right now. They're not going to stop. They're going to try and score as many points as they can. If they hold on to the ball for a while, that's great. If they don't, they're not going to worry about it. They're going to go full speed ahead as much as they can. And once again, tight end on the last play is wide open.
Well, they can't stop. See, I mean, that's contemporary college football, is the people that vote scoreboard watch. USC, Florida, Texas, some of these other schools.
And Alan, let's get an update from Andy Jones on that Florida score. Andy?
Yeah, Don, quick update from the Swamp. The Gators catch a break. Arkansas had a chance to take the lead, missed a field goal, so Florida has the ball, 3:08 to play. The Gators and the Razorbacks are tied at 20. Don?
All right, Andy, with 10:29 here to play at Notre Dame Stadium, USC leading the Irish 34-20. And Southern California has the ball, first down and 10 at the USC 40, moving right to left here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they won't take their foot off the gas pedal, Don.
No, they'll go over the top anytime they see it. Barkley under center. Here's the snap, handoff. McKnight cut down for a loss. He tried to run to the near side to the left, and Brian Smith knocked him down for a loss of 3 back at the 37.
One of the few negative plays with their running, but Brian Smith, a good job of coming downhill, finding the lane where he could go behind the offensive lineman and still make it to the running back. And good job by John Ryan, who made that run have to be turned in, because that's what allowed the pursuit to get there. There's still plenty of time where you go out and you just keep making plays. You never know what can happen.
Clock running, 4th quarter, 9:50 to play in the game. USC with the ball, leading 34-20. Handoff. Looking for the run, and Notre Dame stops it for no gain. Joe McKnight again, nowhere to go. Capron Lewis Moore, defensive lineman for Notre Dame, beat the blocker and stops the ball carrier actually for a loss of almost a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 14 now for USC, and they'll be throwing to the tight end.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good call, going to the tight end, or they'll spread this field out. It's not a bad running it down, but look, USC is a team that 3rd and, even with this 14-point lead, they still going to try and go for the jugular.
Markley sets up in the shotgun. Line to make is the 50. Line to gain. Here is Barkley taking a look. Throws over the middle. Intercepted by Notre Dame. Running it back is Gary Gray. Inside the 10 and inside the 15-yard line. And so Notre Dame finally comes up with a turnover that is not flagged or reviewed. And the Irish on a 27-yard return by Gary Gray. With 8:55 to go, down 34-20.
Yeah, Notre Dame got the break. Like I said, Don, you just keep trying to make plays. You never know what can happen. Good rush by Notre Dame that time. Ball thrown kind of high, and then after that it was just tip drill. And Gary Gray, on the fortunate end of that, Ronald Johnson was the one who tipped it up in the air. Gary Gray, the recipient. Now, red zone offense for Notre Dame.
Jimmy Clausen, after the interception by Gary Gray, who got the start today. Here is the snap to Clausen, takes a look. He is going to be sacked at the 19-yard line of USC by Everson Griffin. So that brings up that's the 5th sack of Jimmy Clausen today, Alan.
Yeah, well, I mean, this team was leading the country in sacks. And, I think Jimmy may have re-injured that toe because he's limping a little bit right there. But, it's just, that's how good this football team is. They don't have to worry about blitzing. They can just count on that front four to bring all the pressure.
Clausen stands in the shotgun. 8:16 to play. Ball at the 19-yard line of USC. Clausen looks. He's got time. Starts to run. Fires on the run. Makes a connection. And running to the near side, trying to gain yards is Golden Tate, and he's thrown back by an array of tacklers. And here's a penalty marker after the play.
It'll be interesting how they call that. It looked like Eric Olson and who else was in on that? Eric Olson and Will Harris got tangled up a little bit.
7:57 left to play in the game. USC
fouls on the play. Dead ball, personal foul, 26 on the defense. Dead ball, personal foul, 55 on the offense. Those penalties will offset. Third down.
That's the easy way out. Make it offsetting penalties.
So the ball will be spotted to the 15-yard line of Southern California. And it's third down and 11, almost 12 for Notre Dame after the interception of Barkley by Notre Dame's Gary Gray. Now Notre Dame has to come out of it with points with just 7:48 to play. And the Irish down to the Trojans by 14.
Yeah, I mean, you got to believe that the yards are over the middle with the cover, too, that they're playing. If they can get Kyle Rudolph in the middle of the field.
Clausen in the shotgun. Blitzers come. Clausen throws. Beautiful play. Touchdown Notre Dame. Off the flank. Golden Tate, he's into the end zone.
You talk about threading a needle right there. Golden Tate has to run the slant. The safety is sitting there watching. The ball is thrown right as he turns his head. He catches the ball, which allows him to gather himself for the hit from the safety, and he bounces in the end zone. Big time play.
So Clausen against this tough pass defense, the 8th best in the country, but he's now hit 18 of 28 for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick tossed to try the point after, which the last was blocked, as you remember. This one is up and good. And it's 34-27 Southern California with 7:28 to play in the game. We'll return after this message from Allstate.
Gary Gray nearly scored, but was run down by a lineman of USC. But to be quite honest, the play happened right in front of me. He had to secure the ball. He bobbled it just a little bit. So now Notre Dame has climbed back within 7 points, 7.5 minutes left. And once again, the onus goes on the Notre Dame defense. Don?
All right, Jeff. It does indeed. Notre Dame has to get a stop. That blocked extra point could loom large. Notre Dame down by 7 points now. And ready to kick off is David Ruffer, a walk-on who probably kicks it the farthest, but the trajectory of his kicks can be a mystery. They might go high and deep. They might be line drives about 5 feet off the ground, but he hits it hard. Curtis McNeil and C.J. Gable are back for USC.
Yeah, you want this ball to be high, because, when that ball is high, it gives the coverage team more time to get down the field. Every second is 10 more yards they're gaining.
Ruffer approaches the ball. Hits a high spinning kick, not that deep. From the 10-yard line is Gable. Straight ahead. And Gable is cartwheeled over the 30 and on the 32-yard line. And there the Trojans have the ball 1st and 10 with a 7-point lead. Harrison Smith was on the tackle. 7:23 to play in the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how USC comes out this time. Will they still go out and throw the football, or will they come out with more energy? 7 points means it's a game now.
Now they're going to be wary with a freshman quarterback who just got picked. Barkley under center. He's going to throw. Near side throw. It's caught by Ronald Johnson. And he's hit at the 40, a gain of about 8. David Ausberry actually gets the ball on the near side.
Yeah, he's a big target, 6'4", 235 pounds. that's somebody who can move the chains. They got a good mixture of receivers. And, all of them are fleet. Some of them are more of your possession type receivers, and some can just flat out fly. But they got plenty of them.
6:48 to play. USC at the Trojan 40. 2nd and 2. Leading by 7. Handoff. The carry by Joel McKnight, the 6-foot, 200-pound back, the junior, who came in averaging 7.1 a carry. Appears to be close enough to measure. He got about 2 yards on the play. The tackle by Notre Dame senior John Ryan at the right defensive end.
The benefit of even being close to the first down is the stoppage of the clock. Now they started back up again, but the time is precious right here. USC, nothing else on their mind right now but going down and scoring.
First down and 10, Southern California. 6:18 left to play and the clock's running. USC by 7. Now USC calls a timeout. So there's a timeout on the field with 6:13 to play.
And I'm sure they just want to make sure at this particular stage of the game, 6 minutes, 13 seconds. These are situations you practice where, okay, you got 6 minutes left, 7-point lead, go win the game. So that might be a function of getting 4 first downs. So they just want to make sure that they do everything right. Give up a timeout. It's okay, give up a timeout, they got the lead, but do everything right to try and win the game. Now, for the defense, though, opportunity, look, they lined up and they did something that USC didn't like. So it's advantageous for the defense, and any amount of rest you can get them with a defense that blitzes as much as Notre Dame does is a positive.
Yeah, the blitzes burn Notre Dame, and the beneficiary's been a tight end who's been running seam routes up the middle, wide open, having a career day is Anthony McCoy, senior tight end for the Trojans, who today has caught 5 receptions for 153 yards.
It made him look like an All-American today.
He's not been in the end zone. Now the Trojans come out of the huddle. One running back behind the freshman quarterback, Matt Barkley. Handoff. No, a fake, and Barkley's going to be sacked all the way back at the 30 by John Ryan. And also Darius Fleming.
Yeah, that's a senior making that play. Didn't buy the bootleg fake whatsoever. Came on a beeline, and by the time the quarterback turned around, John Ryan was there in his grill.
That's the 3rd time that Barkley has been sacked today. Clausen's been sacked 5 times by USC.
This USC team, they came in only giving up 6 sacks. So Notre Dame, a good job with the pressure.
34-27, Southern California in the lead. Time becoming a factor. Clock running, 5:29 to play. Here's a handoff. Running with the ball is McKnight, and he's hit hard at the 40. Knocked down after a gain of about 7 yards, maybe 8. That's going to bring up 3rd and long. Brian Smith was the tackler. USC huddling at their leisure now, running as much clock as they can with a 7-point lead and 5:08, 5:07 left to play.
Yeah, anxious to see the lineup. Will they go with the trips situation, the wide trips look where they scored a touchdown? Yes, they are. Well, maybe not.
They're sending McCoy, who does some kind of a jig, a dance as he goes out to the right. Here is Barkley, swing pass near side, and they break the play, and again, he might have the first down. Let's see what he's doing. He's short of the first down. Swing pass goes to Joe McKnight to the near side, the left. He got 8 and was knocked out of bounds. And he brings up now 4th down and about a long 2 for USC, and they'll play the percentage game and punt the ball, or at least the line to punt the ball.
Yeah. Can't blame them for that. One of the top defenses in the country. They figured, look, if they can stop Notre Dame and 3 get the ball back, they'll be in position to win the game.
Jacob Harfman standing at his 36-yard line. The snap. Notre Dame sets up a return. Golden Tate is back. He signals a fair catch, lets the ball hop. And it takes a bounce back at the USC pursuing team and is down to the 22-yard line. So here's where we're at. After a 28-yard punt by USC, 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in regulation. Southern California 34, Notre Dame 27, and the Irish have the ball with the wind at their back going left to right here in the fourth quarter from the Notre Dame 22. Now let's go back to Andy Jones.
Don, an exciting finish in the Swamp. Number 1 Florida just 9 seconds away from beating Arkansas. The Gators getting a 27-yard field goal with 9 seconds left to lead 23-20. Don?
All right, a penalty thrown here, Andy, and
number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So Notre Dame's dilemma increases now as Trev Robinson is called for a false start. And that makes it first down and 15 for Notre Dame, down to USC by 7. And the ball at the Notre Dame 27-yard line.
No loss. Got to get yards and chunks anyway.
Need those chunk big plays. Here's the shotgun snap to Clausen. He looks. Throws it. Connection. Near side, Armando Allen making people miss. Works the middle of the field. And he's out to the 31-yard line. He got back about 14 yards. Darrell Casey knocks him down, so it will be second down and short for Notre Dame, just across the Irish 30-yard line.
Outlet route is so important. With everybody dropping back to cover the dangerous wide receivers, you give it to your running back, and he can make people miss.
Shotgun snap to Clausen. He calls his own number, runs the ball, and Clausen dives ahead for the first down, out to the 38-yard line. Out of the shotgun, he play fake to the running back on a counter. And then he just tucked the ball in, ran to the near side, the right, dove with the ball outstretched and got the first down by a lot. It's first down Notre Dame at the Irish 37.
Well, that new wrinkle, Don, of having Jimmy Clausen run is going to give defensive coordinators fits.
Now here is Clausen standing in, throws, makes a connection. The ball is out to the 43-yard line of Notre Dame. Robbie Paris going down low for the ball. Timing first down throw, good for a gain of almost 8. Notre Dame down by 7. Clock running. 3:18 to play. 34-27 Southern California. 3:12 to play. The Irish under the lights on the natural grass field at Notre Dame. In blue and gold moving left to right. Against the Trojans' outstanding defense. 2nd and 3. Clausen from the shotgun. Rolling out. He's in trouble and does a great job throwing the ball away before the rush could get to him.
You had Armand Armstead and Everson Griffin ran a little line game. It made the offensive linemen collide a little bit. Now all of a sudden they're coming free at that Jimmy Clausen. He's running for his life, but he's still mobile enough and wise enough to know, hey, get rid of this ball, live for another down.
Clausen against the great pass defense of USC that nobody's really penetrated this year. Has hit 20 of 31 for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's Clausen throwing, connection, and it's a first down to the 48-yard line. Linesman comes in, Robbie Paris, so sure-handed, coming off the right flank, cuts to the middle of the field, and makes a hands grab, snatching the ball for a first down Notre Dame, and the clock shows 2:51 to play.
And that play started with great blocking by the offensive line. You know, you got to have your guardians there to make sure you can make those plays. And so we're going to salute Sam Young as today's guardian of the game, sponsored by Guardian Insurance.
Guardian Insurance, longtime sponsor of Notre Dame football. Sam Young, the right tackle. Here's Clausen standing in. He looks, he's starting to run, throws on the run. It is caught for a first down at the 38-yard line. And then it's knocked free, and Notre Dame comes up with the ball. John Goodman, Armando Allen. Goodman had the ball. He caught it. He was hit. The ball was knocked free. He was not ruled down. And then Armando Allen recovered at the 43-yard line. Let's see where they... Looks like they're going to need a measurement here.
They're going to be short.
Yeah, they spotted short. Goodman was over the line to gain for the first down, but then the ball was knocked free of him. So this is 2nd and a yard for Notre Dame. 1:59 to play. Irish down by 7 to the Trojans. Snap, handoff. Armando Allen, head down. He's got the first down. The clock stops with 1:48. left to play in regulation.
There's still plenty of time, plus territory, got 2 timeouts left. And Jimmy Clausen's limping just a little bit more now, but that play where they had to run that running play because of the fumble on John Goodman's behalf. But how about these guys stripping the ball, Don?
Yeah, they work at it. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. We're back and ready to go. Don Criqui with Alan Pinkett, Jeff Jeffers at Notre Dame Stadium, Andy Jones in our ISP studios, Bill Carambellis, our producer-engineer, Chuck Freeby, our spotter, Buck Jersey, our statistician. Clausen is now 15 of 19 in the second half for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nobody's done this to this USC defense in a long time. But Notre Dame's down by 7. Here's Clausen standing in. Starts to roll out, takes a look. He's in trouble. Gets a block, throws. Open receiver, can't catch the ball, diving back at it at the 32-yard line. Goodman going for it, but the ball was too low. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Notre Dame. Incomplete pass does stop the clock. 1:23 left to play in regulation. Notre Dame looking to challenge for a tying score, an extra point. But they got some work to do here, Alan, to get there.
Yeah, and you wonder how much zip Jimmy Clausen can get on the ball, limping again, knowing it's that turf toe that he has to push off of. That ball came in low. You wonder if he was healthy.
Well, he was running. He was on the dead run when he threw it. Yeah. I think he looks great. I mean, I don't think we can play doctor up here on his toe. He's having one of the games of his life. Here is Clausen throwing. Beautiful catch for a first down. Down to the 29-yard line of USC. Golden Tate comes off the left flank. And Clausen with a tremendous throw. And Golden Tate goes high to take it down.
He's got hands like a clamp. He just goes up and just snatches it out of the air with 2 defenders on him.
And now Tate, with a 13-yard gain, has caught 8 today for 117. Against Washington in the last game, he caught passes for 244 yards. Clausen from the shotgun, takes a look, throws for the end zone. Goodman's there, and Goodman can't catch it. It's off his hand to the 2-yard line along the near sideline, the right side, out of bounds. Ball just a bit too long for Goodman. Defender on him, but very nearly a connection.
Yeah, I mean, that was, one of those things. Goodman is fairly new. When you run that go route, you want to leave about 4 yards of cushion. So if the quarterback has to make you drift outside, you still stay in bounds. But Kevin Thomas, a good job of pushing him out. Didn't have that cushion.
Now it's 2nd down and 10 for Notre Dame. Ball positioned at the 29-yard line of Southern California. The Trojans lead by 7. 54 seconds to play. Clausen looks, rushes on. Clausen throws. It goes to Armando Allen. They ruled it hit the ground. It was a low throw to Allen at the 27-yard line, and 3rd down and 10 comes up for Notre Dame in a must-score drive for the Irish, down by 7 with 47 seconds left to play.
Almost better that it hit the ground because it stops the clock, gives Notre Dame a chance to regroup. If they completed, it would have been a minimal gain, and they would have to rush, even though they still have 2 timeouts left. Don't want to use them yet.
Yeah, Notre Dame does have 2 timeouts. So do the Trojans, but they want to see the clock run out with a 7-point lead. Clausen's in the shotgun. This is 3rd down and 10. USC's bringing up blitzers now. They have 1 safety way back. Here they come, all-out blitz. Clausen a timing throw. Going down towards the end zone. The receiver felt he was bumped off the play. Golden Tate, the official right there, says the coverage was good by Josh Pinkard. And now 4th down and 10 comes up for Notre Dame. Jeff Jeffers.
Jimmy Clausen's going to look at that play, and while they designed it to go to Golden Tate, Kyle Rudolph slipped on his block and was wide open down the field. But I truly believe that play was designed for Golden and Golden alone.
Yeah, sometimes you see on film, it's nothing more, painful than going back and watching the film and seeing guys running free. And when there was a lot of pressure, but things happen so fast down there. And, in that case, why not go to Golden Tate? He's been doing nothing but making plays all day long. But, haven't heard Kyle Rudolph that much. I think on this 4th down, they may dial up Kyle Rudolph.
They have 2 guys in Kyle Rudolph on the runoff at halftime. He's had 2 guys on him everywhere he's been, and he's only caught 3 passes today for a total of 9 yards. But it could be going his way now, as this is a must play. The game hinges on this play. If it continues for Notre Dame, it is 4th down and 10 for the Fighting Irish. 42 seconds to play. USC leading 34-27. The ball at the 29-yard line of the Trojans. And Notre Dame, the line to gain is the 19-yard line of USC for a first down. 1 timeout left now for Notre Dame.
And I think USC has to blitz on this, Don, because they can dictate the action. They can make the ball come out sooner. If they stay back with 8 people.
Might be a jump ball to Rudolph. He's wide to the left. Lawson in the shotgun. Irish have to make it on 4th down. He stands in. Throws up the middle. It's caught for a first down. Notre Dame's Robbie Paris makes the play, and there's a penalty marker thrown after the play. A 13-yard gain. I don't know, it was a late hit on Paris, who made a phenomenal play, but he's still down. But he did on 4th and 10 make the game.
Ball, personal foul on the defense. Targeting a defenseless player. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Who was it that the penalty was on?
I want to say it was probably Will Harris. You know, your 2 safeties are Taylor Mays, Will Harris. Sometimes I'll put TJ Bryant back there.
And now Paris limps off. A badly injured right leg, it would appear. He's being helped off the field. Notre Dame does get the first down. Let's go down to Jeff.
That was a vicious hit, and Robbie was, as they say, targeting a defenseless player, and he really did. I mean, there was no question about it. And now Notre Dame's got the ball on the 9-yard line, 35 seconds, but the clock is now running. Notre Dame has 1 timeout left.
29 seconds left. 27, 26. Notre Dame down by 7. For some reason, going into alignment at their leisure. 19 seconds. What are they doing? They've got to score the ball. Here's Clausen rolling out, takes a look, and throws it away with 10 seconds left. Another penalty called on USC, a late hit on Clausen.
And now with 9 seconds left, you're thinking...
Why they took 15 seconds.
At most, you got 2 plays.
Roughing the passer, number 97 on the defense.
Notre Dame blew 15 seconds setting up for the play. Now they've only got 9 seconds left, maybe time for 1 play. 2 would be difficult.
Yeah, with 1 timeout, though, they can call it right away. But it's got to be, Don, it's got to be something, a real quick hit, or 2-step drop, 3-step drop, ball is out type of situation.
Inexplicably, Clausen took time and let seconds elapse before he put the ball in play. Now it's 1st and goal for Notre Dame. Down by 7. 9 seconds left to play. Clausen under center. Drops. Timing throw. Kyle Rudolph comes up with a ball. He might have caught it for a touchdown. Let's see.
They're saying
they ruled he's out of bounds. Notre Dame says he was in. I think it will be reviewed. Rudolph signaled touchdown. He had it. Let's see. Still 4 seconds left. Notre Dame has 1 more play. But that will be looked at again. Rudolph did come down with the ball, but the official there, the linesman, said he was out of bounds. It is under review. Alan Pinkett.
Yeah, it's, looking at the replay now, they both go up for TJ Bryant and Kyle Rudolph go. Kyle Rudolph goes up. Oh, he had that ball in his hand and 1 foot in bounds, Don. Let's see. When he comes down, he grabs it with 1 hand.
Yes, he did.
And that foot is still in. So that, I think, that foot is clearly in when he catches the ball.
Well, let's see what they rule.
And he finished the play, unlike the Michael Floyd incident. He finished the play, meaning he came down on the ground.
I think it was a great play, but it has to be overturned in the review booth. On the field, they ruled he was not in bounds.
Yeah, it's just there is overwhelming video evidence.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed incomplete pass.
Well, that's a weird one on me. I think what they're saying is maybe his knee touched out of bounds before, when he came down with the ball.
Now the game comes down to this.
Yep.
4 seconds to play. One last chance for Notre Dame. Down to Southern California, 34-27. The ball at the USC 4-yard line. Very reminiscent of the Purdue game. Rudolph is to the right. Lawson's in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers left. Snap. Here's a throw. And the ball play is broken up, and Southern California wins the game and storms the field. Alan Pinkett.
Well, you got to give credit to Notre Dame for fighting until the very end. They tried to go to the best player on the field with the slant, but a great play made by Josh Pinkert, the veteran in the secondary, and USC escapes with a 7-point win.
So the final numbers are up. Southern California 34, Notre Dame 27. And this last play is now under review. I don't know what they can do on a...
Yeah, I don't know. There's no penalty. Unless they want to call interference.
If there was a defensive foul, the play cannot end on a game cannot end, or a half cannot end on a defensive penalty. There might be another chance if there's a penalty against Southern California. I don't see a flag.
And it looks like...
they're probably going to review and see if there's any time left.
There's 1 second left. When the ball was ricocheted off, there was still 1 second on the clock.
That's right.
The replay. A little premature celebration, maybe. But what a play by Josh Pinkert on that. The Golden Tate running the slant, and Josh Pinkert beat him to the point.
Lawson now 24 of 42 for 260 yards and 2 touchdowns. Barkley of Southern California hit 19 of 29 for 380 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted once and lived dangerously. Had 1 interception dropped. Would have been an interception, but now let's see. They're reviewing to see if there's 1 second on the clock, which would give Notre Dame 1 more play.
And I think you probably go to Kyle Rudolph with the jump ball again, but, these are great athletes.
After further review, it was confirmed that there's 1 second remaining on the clock.
These Notre Dame games in the season of 09 are unbelievable. Unbelievable, these endings. So Notre Dame lives to play another down.
I'm glad my heart is good.
Now let's see here's the officials coming, and USC uses their final timeout.
USC.
As Notre Dame sent Kyle Rudolph wide to the left to the far side, most assuredly to run a jump ball play. This guy was a first-team basketball player, all-state basketball player in Ohio. 1,000-yard score, 500 rebounds at Cincinnati Elder. And he can go up and get it.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a little gamesmanship. I think Charlie knew Pete would call the timeout once he saw the formation. So I think that Charlie put a dummy formation out there to make him come back with some type of defense, and they'll come up, and I'll bet you Kyle Rudolph will be on the opposite side of the field when they line up again. And that's just, these are true former coordinators from the NFL. It's just... It's like a supercomputer going on in their heads in terms of the chess match, and you hopefully get the players that can execute what you want to do. But I think that looking at this play, number 1 choice to me would be a Kyle Rudolph jump ball situation, and number 2 would be Kyle Rudolph on maybe a square out where he bodies the guy and then separates.
The other thing, though, Ellen, he's so carefully defended by at least 2 people, maybe 3 this time.
Yeah.
We recall earlier in one play they had 3 people on Golden Tate. Now this is it. 1 second to play. And Notre Dame, when they thought they were out of chances, gets 1 more from the 4-yard line. Down by 7. Clausen in the shotgun.
May run this thing, too.
He drops. He looks. He fires a fastball. Incomplete.
Duval Kamara fell down.
Duval Kamara lost his footing, and he was on the grass when the ball came in incomplete. And Southern California wins the game 34-27.
Yeah, good, well-designed play. Everybody thought they'd go to Kyle Rudolph or Golden Tate. Duval Kamara runs a nice vertical route. When he comes out of his break, he slips. And that ball comes out before his break. If he doesn't slip, the ball is right there, and he's in the end zone.
So that is the final score. USC 34, Notre Dame 27. We're back at Notre Dame Stadium where a fourth down try by the Irish on a final play of the game fell incomplete in the end zone, and the Trojans hang on to beat Notre Dame 34-27. Some spectacular passing in the game. Clausen starting so slowly against this USC defense, and then in the second half he really got it going. But the last touchdown pass, and it would have been a perfect throw, but the intended target, Duval Kamara, lost his footing. It was a timing throw, and he went to the turf.
He went to the turf. A good flow, good design, just when you thought that they would go to one of their other playmakers. And Duval Kamara had been having a good game all day long. They decided to go to him, and the ball was thrown well. Unfortunate, but you know what? I give a lot of credit to Notre Dame by fighting and staying in this game, because when they were down by a couple of scores, they could have thrown in the towel, but they came right back and they kept fighting. So the comeback kids, they keep working on their heart, Don. When they don't get this one, but just go get the next one.
The freshman quarterback for Southern California, Matt Barkley, hit 19 of 29 for 380 yards and 2 touchdowns. And today, what really worked for the Trojans was their tight end, Anthony McCoy, usually an afterthought in the passing game other than as a blocker. Only 9 receptions through the first 5 games. Today, he caught 5 for 153 yards, no touchdowns, but he was a difference maker as Barkley found him open on some big plays. And then Notre Dame had to come out of a deep hole late in the game. Almost did, but the Trojans prevail again.
Yeah, the well is deep when it comes to talent at USC, and they were able to find that right combination that was able to hurt Notre Dame and really put them away. So, hey, give a lot of credit to USC. Fine football team, physically superior, very, very talented, top 10 team, but Notre Dame gave them all they could handle today.
Next up for the Fighting Irish, next Saturday here at Notre Dame Stadium, it will be Boston College. You can hear it on the Notre Dame ISP Sports Network. Next up for the Trojans of Southern California, they'll be at home to play Oregon State, a revenge game. You'll recall last year at Corvallis, Oregon State upset Southern California and cost them a chance at playing for a national championship when it was all done.
Yeah, USC knows that, look, winning this game on the road is big. Ohio State loses today. There's opportunity still for USC to climb up to get an opportunity to play in that game. So revenge will be on their mind. And this team, if they're mad at you, they can do some things. Talking about USC.
Well, USC are now off to a 5-1 start, but still with that